Good evening. Welcome to a live stream where we're all in a state of absolute shock with it all, aren't we? Season tickets have been announced. It's gone down like a lead balloon with most fan groups, most fans, everybody you talk to is in a state of shock, really. I'm just going to quickly go to the comments. Shazza Harvey says, hello, Shazza. You say, absolutely disgusting with ticket prices. Yeah, it just doesn't make any sense, does it at all? Eugene McGee says, happy weekend. Happy weekend to you, Eugene. Stephen Huntley's here. Hello, Stephen. And we've also got, who's this? Neve Tries Things. Hello, Neve. How are you doing? Right, okay. We'll wait for a few more. We've got 22 in the stream. Post your comments in. First of all, have you seen the Julian Winter interview on it was on Twitter. It's been on Twitter, Radio Lancashire's Twitter. I'm going to show it you if you haven't, but we'll wait till a few more people get in and then we can watch that together if you haven't seen it already, and we'll have a little chat about it because I'm quite shocked by the whole thing, if I'm being honest. FPL Hayden says, evening Lee, from an outside perspective, I'd be absolutely fuming with those prices, especially for the future generations. Indeed, which, according to Julian Winter, we don't have many of anyway, to be honest. But that's a problem if we haven't got many of them anyway, and they're the future of the club. Why would we be charging them more if we haven't got enough of them? Steve Huntley says, Hallie, I have to excuse the typing tonight. I've broken my shoulder, so one-handed. Okay, you're not doing bad for one-handed. Blue Terrier 19 says, we had Julian Winter at Huddersfield and he was awful. Feel for you. Actually, I had to have a little chuckle to myself because there was a thread all about it on A View from the Tower. I was reading through and somebody in the comments said that he looked like a man who had been delivering parcels and they dragged him in to do the interview. I couldn't believe that this is our CEO. Just honestly, and I can't stand people who say things like, we need to increase the, the money we're getting, right? I was like, right, I'm right. Honestly, it's so condescending the way he's talking. Why? We have to do this, right? This is right. Oh, Jesus, it was so bad. It was possibly the worst interview I've ever seen in my life. I mean, we didn't like Ben Mansfield, but my God, this guy takes it down to a lower level of just utter garbage that's running our club. Who is this guy? I couldn't believe the way he was talking. I couldn't believe how, oh God, he was just awful. It was just awful. There's 47 in now. I tell you what, let's watch it before I waffle on. Should we watch it together? If you haven't seen this already, prepared to be stunned. Are you ready? Here we go.
Supporters groups have made statements. Some supporters who go on social media have made statements, but we can't speak on behalf of all of them. No. But the groundswell of the opinion that I've read is not particularly favourable in terms of match day pricing and in terms of young people's ticket prices. Can you talk us through the whole process of how the decisions on all of these pricing structures are made?
Or individually or collectively? I'm going to talk collectively. So, listen, it's incumbent upon me as chief executive of this football club that we find ways to drive revenue and manage cost, right? So we run what I describe as a benefactor model where the owner writes a check, has done so every year for a number of years. And I think it's important that we collectively as staff work out how to drive additional revenue and to manage the cost so that we're not constantly going to the owner, Simon, saying we need more money. Right, so in essence, the whole season ticket increase program was brought about by that thought process. How can we drive additional revenue and still create a good product? Because we want everyone to enjoy that product. As I've said on a number of occasions, we're here to put a team on the field that the fans enjoy, and we can have success collectively. So as a consequence of looking at all the things that make us money, we're looking at ways of them making us more money, and alongside that, managing some costs. So that's in essence where we are. I still think, the product will still be good. The product has been very good here, in my opinion, in terms of results and performances. But we can't lose sight of the fact that this club costs a lot of money to run, and the owners continuing to write a significant cheque every year. So collectively, we're looking at all the additional elements of revenue, different concepts, different ideas, different initiatives that will come up that will help us to drive new money.
I totally appreciate you can't lose sight of all those facts, but can you also not lose sight that we're in a cost of living crisis? We're in a deprived area of the country, and these people are being expected to find more money from somewhere and perhaps give up something else in their life to come and watch Blackpool.
But also the football club is a party to all those changes as well. So we've had a national minimum wage increase as of 1st of April. So we've applied that. We likewise, everyone else, the additional cost of living is applied to the football club in a big way. So gas, electric, utilities, they've all gone up. So we're all affected by the same things. As I say, we have to find a way to navigate through that difficult time, but we've also got to find ways to drive revenue.
Money's going up for 5 to 11-year-olds to come and watch football, Julian. I'm struggling with that. I don't understand when children of that age, and I'm a father of children who are older than that now, but when they started watching football, it was really cheap to give them something to get a hold of and get a hook on watching football. Do you think it's fair that we're expecting families to spend more money, and significantly more money, for a 5-year-old to go and sit and watch Blackpool?
Look, I understand what you're saying, right? So everyone's circumstances are different, but ultimately, we can't provide everything for free, which you wouldn't expect us to. And you know, our pricing was was very cheap. And if we look at what it costs to take families out in Blackpool and do other things, it's not an unreasonable situation, is what I would say. Admittedly, the increase is a large one, but I don't think it's an unreasonable cost in the scheme of things.
When you first came to the decision to make these prices the way they were you expecting a backlash? Perhaps is strong. For some people, it's a backlash. Some people are saying we're not going. We can't afford to go. Yeah. Were you expecting that?
I think in any football club where a football club applies an increase, you get a backlash. I think it's universally accepted that people will not be happy with any increase. But to my point earlier, you know, we can't just sit here and continue to do nothing where all our costs are increasing and our revenue doesn't grow. If our revenue stays flat and our costs are increasing, it's just a bigger check at the end of the year for the owner to write. So we have to bear that in mind.
What about the whole argument of if it is a little bit cheaper, there might be more seats that are being used, and actually it makes more money than if you sell 7,000 tickets at one price?
So I think last year we didn't utilise our initiatives that we can do we can do 4 initiatives through the year. We didn't really do any last year, but we'll be doing them this year for sure.
Why not? Why didn't you do them last year?
I don't actually think it was ever written into our plan from the start of the season, whereas this year it will be. So we will drive initiatives. We're open to, we get the option to do 4 per annum. We will do that this year. And on top of that, we'll think of other initiatives to think more creatively about young people and how we offset some of that. So I don't have the answer specifically for you here, but it's certainly a thought process that as we go forward, we've got to try and be a little bit more creative.
Would you agree that they're the future of the club, these sort of 5 to 11-year-olds who, if you get them interested at that age,
undoubtedly,
they might want to come back?
Yeah, undoubtedly.
And that brings us back to why it's difficult to understand why that age and up to the age of 18, I think, are being penalised perhaps more than any other area, isn't it?
Yeah, but at this stage, there's a very small number, for one thing.
Sorry, a small number of season ticket holders, you mean?
Yeah, in those age categories.
Okay.
So we'll see. Look, I can't give you all the answers here, but we've got other things that we will do alongside. Season tickets have gone out. We've got initiatives to drive, and we'll work out what they look like.
The match day pricing structure itself as well, that appears to be quite a hike. And in some cases, if you want an adult ticket, you're going to have to part with more than £30, and in some cases 40. That That's a lot of money, Julian.
Depends where you sit, doesn't it?
Well, it certainly does. But for League One football, that's got to be one of the most expensive tickets in the country, hasn't it?
I don't know.
Do you think it's expensive? What do you pay? We're in a very fortunate position, Julian, that we're all sat in a room here in the media industry. We're paid to watch football and paid to be working in football. Do you think it's realistic to expect people to be parting with £30 and £40 per match to come and watch football?
Yeah, but we're in control of when it's up to those sort of levels. So there's category 1 and category 2 pricing. So it's how often we use the category 2 pricing. That's the question. So as yet, we haven't planned which ones we're going to use it for. It will all depend on the fixtures, when they come, what day of the week the games come. So there's a lot of factors to apply. But at the end of the day, I still think it'll be good value.
Would you pay £40 then to watch League One football, Julian?
Well, depending on where you're sitting, the £40 one is sitting in one of the best seats, isn't it? So depending on where you sit.
Okay, take 5 off then. Would you pay 35?
Well, it depends on how your club is doing, and that's the point. We have to produce a product here that gets people enthused and gets people engaged, and people will come and enjoy it and pay the money that's required to be here.
I guess what I'm saying is, if you can't commit to a season ticket because you're not going to be able to come on that number of occasions that you think, I'll come on a match day, if it's a family of 4 and it's a category 1 game, before you've bought a programme, a burger or anything else, you're parting with over £100. And for local people of this area, I think they're going to find that a staggering amount of money. And I get that you can go to the pleasure beach for the day and spend more than that in a day. I totally understand that. But this is football. This was once known as a working man's game. Are we still in that area now?
Well, we are, yeah. Because parts of the offer are much cheaper. It won't be at the levels you're talking about for every game. That's a certainty. So, yeah, we've got to do our work. We've got to build a team here, build a product on the pitch that people want to come and be part of. So that's the challenge, right? Pricing, as I said to you, we can dance around all day. One of the central revenues for the football club is ticketing, right? So we get ownership contribution, we get central distributions from the EFL. The next biggest revenue for this football club is its ticketing. So in context to what I said to you already, we have to work hard at being able to generate more revenue. Despite the challenges, that's the way we are. We have to work hard at being able to generate more revenue.
Right, we're back. Blimey. Right, okay, we've watched that nightmare. I'll just make some notes here on it, to be honest. Let me just, before I go to my notes, let's just go to the comments and see what you all think of that. Should we say shit show? I think we could say shit show because it was just an absolute shit show. But let's see what people have to say. Blue Terrier says, yes, we need to increase revenue. Upping prices doesn't guarantee it, as you lose fans by doing so. So I think there's a big part of me, and I hate to say this, but I really hope people don't take up these season tickets, and I hope it's the worst season ticket sales we've ever seen. And if people do not pay it, I am fully behind them. I mean, I have committed myself with this thing where I'm going to buy two tickets, and I'm starting to wish I kind of hadn't done this, because I don't even think I want to buy a season ticket at these prices. It's ridiculous. And the fact that he actually thought it was a good product, but good product last year, what is he watching? Right. You really do have to, you really do have to wonder at some of Sadler's decisions, don't you, Steve? It's like, it's mental, isn't it? Barney Daniels says, getting a season ticket is a costly business these days. Why can't the club let you pay monthly direct from them instead of an outside company? I do believe BST are going to help us, going to help you on that. I think so. I think there may be news on that anyway, but that could be a good thing. Ian Barron's here talking about waffling on, actually, about Darlington and not reading the room at all. We're not talking about Darlington. We're talking about season ticket prices at Blackpool. It's very good what you're doing at Darlington, but not really tonight. We're not really that bothered about it, to be honest. This is, for us, is quite important. Russell Morton, but I really don't think I can't afford a season ticket this year. I understand costs have gone up. So you're going whatever, where the prices have gone up. There's a thread. Let me just quickly, it made me laugh. I have to say, it did make me laugh. There's a thread entitled "The Three C's." I don't know if you've read it. Where is it? Let me just see if I can find it. I had it on my phone. Right, yeah. The three C's: custodianship, communication, and collaboration is the thread. Max Seaside has responded to that with his 3 C's, which is collecting children's cash, which I thought, honestly, I laughed so hard. Steve Huntley says the product has been pants. Well, Julian Winter doesn't think so. He thinks it's been marvellous last season, a great product. It's been bloody awful. What the hell? Yes, I mean, we did well at home, but they let us down on quite a few occasions where they shouldn't have let us down. We didn't get in the top 6, which we should have got in the top 6. It was a disaster last year. Not as bad as the year before, but not good for your mental health. And all this money paying out to be not entertained by this. Oh, God. Anyway, Paul Barr says kids should get it for free. Well, they do under 5. If they go with dad or whoever, they will want merchandise, program, food, drink, guarantee they would make more revenue. Exactly. Wouldn't you think it would be better to drop the prices? This is, as Andy Bays was saying, is probably the poorest town in the country. And we're charging, I think we're going to find out how much Huddersfield are charging. Yeah, that's brilliant, Ian Barron, about Darlington raising £115,000. You are superb. I love it. Well done. John Ashton says, second time watching this now, watched it via the podcast of the night. Still angers me more watching it. It's like he doesn't give a damn about his fans. Look at his face. I mean, it's just so arrogant. You know, I know there's been a lot of chat on A View from the Tower about communication. Nobody's communicating with us, blah, blah, blah. And then they put this guy on to communicate with us. And did he just think he was going on the radio, do you think? So he didn't have a shave and he just looked as tatty and scruffy as he can possibly look. And he does look like the man that's delivering the parcels or something, doesn't he? At the ground. And he doesn't seem to know the answers to anything. He actually says our prices were cheap last year. Do you think our prices were cheap last year? Did you get value for money for your price last year? Answer that one in the comments. Do you think last year's season ticket prices were cheap? Because I know that wasn't the feeling of fans. Right, John says, John Ash says, I've said once, twice, and I will say it again. Huddersfield charging £249. Why not the Pool? Well, that's because Julian Winter doesn't really know what other clubs charge. He seemed clueless to the fact that it's one of the... He couldn't answer it, could he? I say he was the man delivering parcels. I think it was probably the man just delivering parcels. Carl, come on, Parr says the honeymoon period is well and truly over. The silence from within the club has been deafening. Well, it was deafening. Now we've had quite a bit. I think it was better when it was deafening. Now there are murmurs of discontent. Sadler has wheeled out this bloke I've never heard of before. Well, he is the CEO. We have heard of him to defend why the club's run. So he's the chief executive officer. You wouldn't think so looking at how he turned up for this interview with Radio Lancashire, looking like a bag of spanners. In a nutshell, we are being conditioned for more shit seasons to look forward to. Indeed, we are. Barron making the terrible faux pas of calling seats orange at Blackpool. Blue Terrier 19 says, we're only charging £249 due to being relegated on our older feeling the club haven't earned the right to increase them, but we're going to slightly increase them. Right. Well, you're down in League One. We're our second season in League One, watching a disappointing season last year where the product wasn't as good as Julian Winter seems to think it was, not from most of the fans that I talked to. We're charging more now because because apparently we're the major source of revenue. So they've had a conflab, they've had to think about it. They've obviously got to decide how they can increase revenue to stop Simon Sadler chipping in every year. And they've had this meeting and they've come up with all these wonderful ideas. And the best idea they can come up with is spank the fans through the arse, the ones that their biggest revenue. Well, the third biggest revenue stream is us fans. So pants down, stickers on the arse. Great. Going to lose half of us probably. That's wonderful thinking, Julian. I've got to say, you're a bloody genius. How long did it take him to think of this? John Ashton says, surely 10,000 season ticket holders is better than 5,000 and empty seats. It is absolutely. I think it could well be 5,000. Think well, that money can buy and generate shirt sales, drinks, food. Honestly, it's a no-brainer. You'd be trying to get 12, 13,000 in, wouldn't you? Really? Just try and encourage people to come, because I tell you, if they're reading the forums on a Youth and Time, a lot of people were not thinking of renewing anyway because of the football and the fact that they're keeping Critchley, and they hated the way we played football last season. They were bored. It was boring. It wasn't the kind of football we want to watch. It wasn't the Blackpool way. So a lot of people were walking away because of that. So they already knew, if they do read the forums, that the fans are not very happy about Critch staying on, and they will kind of want to vote with their feet and not go. Well, I'll tell you what, you've just given them even more reason not to go and renew. I just think you're not reading the room at all. Barron says under 12s get in for free at Darlington. They come with a paying adult and we're a part-time fan. Well, we have got, with regards to that, they could bring them in 4 times a year. 4 times a year. They didn't do the 4 things they could have done last season because it wasn't in the notes or whatever the things they had to do. They couldn't think outside the box and think that, hey, we could do 4 initiatives. No, it wasn't in the plan, according to Julian Winter, but it's in the plan this year, and they are going to do fantastic incentives for us. So don't worry about a thing, guys. Don't worry about it. Incentives are coming after they've pissed everybody off. Craig Perrin says, by all means, put our prices up £1 a game. In the circumstances, isn't too bad. As for the kids and families, they're taking their piss. We've got initiatives to drive, and we will work out what those are. Give me strength. Bloke's a clown. Can you imagine him and Chrissy having conversations behind the scenes? Honestly, did it? He comes across not just as a clown, but as an arrogant clown, doesn't he? He just comes across so condescending. It's quite unbelievable. He's going on about the football club had to start paying more people because the national minimum wage has gone up. I mean, what's it gone up by? 40? What has it gone up by? It's not gone up 30p an hour or something, is it? Why doesn't he? I mean, how much is he on? Why doesn't he take a wage cut? Then he can afford to pay all the bloody people. He did such a bad job last year in not getting us promoted as CAO, then he deserves slapping with a pay cut. And then he can pay everybody the national minimum wage rise that we're struggling with. Blue Terrier. John Asher says, Blue Terrier, surely you will get bigger crowds paying that instead of us paying 375. Think so, wouldn't you? You would think so. I mean, it was going to be a hard set after last season at 250, if I'm being honest, but at 375, my God. And that's just like for one person on the kind of cheapest deal. But if you're like a family of 4, Jesus Christ, in Blackpool. I mean, the thing where Andy Bates was grilling about £40, would you pay £40? Well, those are for the most expensive seats. We're talking the most expensive seats. Well, 35 then, would you pay that? He wouldn't answer, would he? He wouldn't answer whether he would pay £35. Well, that's just for one person. Most people come in with like 2 or a family of 4. It just goes up and up and up. You're paying over £100, and the wages in Blackpool, people can't afford it. There's honestly, the numbers are going to be so down. This initiative, this wonderful, incredible initiative they've come up with to raise extra cash for Sadler, I'm afraid he's going to bite you in the ass, and I hope it does. I'm telling you now, I hope it does. I hope it bites you in the flipping ass. I really do, honestly. I've never been so angry about anything in my life. I hope it bites them in the ass. Right, we've got quite a few comments coming in. Let's get back to this, try and get through these comments. John Ashton says, yes, condescending. Liam Rhodes says, Liam Royale says, we're going in full circle. Explain what you mean. Don't know, this is shocking, obviously, yeah. What do you mean full circle? We're going back, circling back to the oysters. Stephen says, are you renewing Lee? Well, this is the thing. I've done a video about it. You can watch it. I was going to kind of start, I wanted to bring former players in. I was going to buy Jane's season ticket next to me. So I've got a spare ticket. Could be used for other fans as well with great stories. It could be for a business that wants to promote, you know, their business on it, and they could come on as a guest. It could be for a, you know, for a needy family or whatever. That was my whole thought of it. But I'm starting to think, why have I committed to this buying 2 tickets really, when I'm really not feeling much joy at the moment about it all. Kelly Anderson says, the lower the price, the more people will go. You would think that, wouldn't you? You would. That would be my thinking as well. Not if you want to raise more money, you want to get more people in. And if you want to be successful, you want as many people in Bloomfield Road as possible, because that's what gets us promoted, isn't it? You know, a full stadium, lots of noise all the time, you know, everybody behind the club, everybody happy, make everybody miserable. You haven't got, the club is not going to do well. It's not going to do well. John Ashton says, wow, £435 is crazy. It is for League One football we're talking about. Yeah, exactly, Darren. For League One football, for fuck's sake, he says. Liam Royale says, if we don't fill the ground, there'll be no atmosphere. Yep. And the team won't play as good. So say goodbye to promotion until we get new ownership. Yeah, indeed. Well, who knows? We you know, I mean, Simon, you know, I'm starting to worry that Simon does need to stop putting in 5 million a year, because he's giving all the money back, apparently, isn't it? I don't know much about it all, but the news is today that all the investors have been given the money back, which I don't know what that means. Will they have any money left? I don't know. Stephen Hutchins says, difficult to believe he didn't know the season ticket prices at other clubs. Well, it is. He didn't even know it at Huddersfield, did he? He come from there, apparently. Jesus, who is this guy? Honestly, it's the first time I've ever seen him. I thought Ben Mansford was bad. God, I did. I thought Ben Mansford was bad, but this guy takes it to a whole new level of shit show, doesn't he? Why has Simon Sadler employed him? God almighty. He just needs a really good PR person. Simon, if you're listening to this, never ever put in front of a camera ever again. Ever. Just don't. Liam Royale says, don't tell me it can be a worse product than what we watched last season. Well, it can be, yeah, but we're going to be paying more for it. And we weren't happy about paying the prices for it last season because it wasn't as good as Julian Winter seems to think it was. Gary says, is this guy for real? He thought like we're a Premiership club. Yes, doesn't it? It's League One, for goodness sake. Also go watch a bunch of kids and loan players yet again. Yeah. Indeed. Embarrassed says, wow, says Lee Charles. No need for that. I was only giving you the latest news. I know, but this is not the time. I know you want to, but this is about season ticket prices at Blackpool. And it really is important to kind of, stick with what this video is all about. We can talk about stuff like that on a day when we're not talking, when we're not moaning, really. It's great what you're doing at Darlington. I understand that, but honestly, we are in shock here. Did they forget what league we're in? We are more than some championship teams. Are we, Bryce? That, yeah. Scott E says, when I spoke to him after a structured dialogue meeting, I suggested a wow price season ticket, and if we sold X amount, i.e. 10,000, we'd get the discounted season ticket price. He agreed with the idea and told me he'd done it at Huddersfield. His words were, they had a 10,000 target, they smashed it then, moved it to 15,000, and they beat that too. I reminded him they were promoted that year, and he agreed it was a great idea, and it created a massive buzz there. He agreed with the Novice Medal too, and something. That's following on. Yes. Yes, indeed. He seems to have forgotten about that. Hello, Gary Cronshaw. How you doing? Steve Huntley says, am I the only one who thinks this is a preamble to shite recruitment this summer? No, I don't. Well, according to Julian Winter, this is going to give us all the funds we need to provide an even better product than what we got last year. It just all seems very flawed to me. Dave Hart says, overall, last season was poor, but don't forget your season tickets for home games. And let's be honest, the home form was pretty good. The form was pretty good. The entertainment for most people was pretty poor. There were some great games, don't get me wrong. There was a few times when I came out and I was really buzzing about it. But at the end, ultimately, it just was terrible. You know, the whole thing was terrible. The away performance, the way Critch set up the same way in the final game. I've already had my rant about it anyway, not changing anything. But yes, it was pretty good, but at times, but I say a lot of people were not entertained, were not happy, were moaning, you know, about the way we were playing, even though we were winning. There was a lot of, you know, and you know, the game, the after the Lord Mayor show's performances at home, wins there would have probably got in the top 6, wouldn't they? Craig Perry says, Scott Eves, well, if it's something he doesn't agree with, I suggest he grows a spine and sticks up for what's right and not try and defend the indefensible, because no one should be going through life being a nodding dog. Quite sure who that's to. Liam Royale says, I have a feeling that attendances are going to be embarrassing next season. Yeah, but there is a part, I imagine the same as you, you're actually thinking, I hope this does really backfire. I don't like to say it, but I do hope that this really does kick him in the arse, really. Because this wonder idea of how to raise more money, to me, is just nonsensical. Paul Barr says, I'd love to see you interview our smartly dressed CEO. Would be very interesting. Are you sure his surname isn't Clampett? Oh, God almighty. I don't know. I think Andy Bays did a very good job, actually. I just didn't think he should have kept pressing him about this money, because he went down to 35. He could have gone all the way down to £20, I think, and it still would have been quite expensive for people in Blackpool, I think. 20 quid, really, to be honest. Liam Royale says it's gone up by about £1. Has it gone up by about? Well, not going to, though, are they? Royston Marshall said the Premier League needs to drop more money down the leagues, to be honest. That's not going to happen. Shazza Harvey said, what's happening with Sadler? Well, he's giving all his money back. He's giving all the investors the money back. Apparently, that was in the Financial Times. I don't really understand hedge funds. I don't know what that means. Does that mean Simon Sadler now has no money, or has he still got his money? Or I don't really know. Anyway, it's not my thing. The case is, who will run the club if Simon Sadler goes down? Well, I suppose that's a question for if he does go down. And I don't know if he can go down. I don't know how it works over there. I have no idea. Hong Kong law or anything. Mark Jones says the underlying issue seems to be the level of debt accumulating, which might affect financial fair play at some point, and the pricing announcement is something of a distraction. Maybe. So trying to do take our eye off the ball. George BFC is here. Hello, George, a fellow YouTuber. I think it's George of the YouTuber. If it is, check him out. Got a good channel, George 15 BFC. Eugene McGee says you can do a giveaway for the Blackpool ticket. Well, that's if I want to buy it. I'm not sure if I need to refund all the people that have chipped in so far. I mean, we haven't quite raised the price of one season ticket yet, or the microphones. So if I don't raise it, I don't know what I'm going to do. I was hoping. There's been a lot of people have posted on that video. Oh, great idea, Lee, fantastic idea. We're looking forward to watching it, but they've not chipped in. Only about 12 people chipped in. You need to, if you want to watch it, you need to chip in. If it's only a £5, we just need to raise the money if you want to see it. Gary Cronshaw says Blackburn Rovers season ticket £349, booking fee £10, £359. That's for Championship football. Blackburn Rovers, more expensive than Blackpool. FPL Hayden says, just interestedly, is it the price increase or the messaging that is the problem? Would you accept a smaller increase, but it messages clearer? I would like it to be not quite so condescendingly said, I think, and so dismissive of things. It's, when Andy Bays mentioned to him about, obviously, the kids' prices should be cheaper, and he basically said, well, we haven't got many of them anyway. Well, that's surprising, is it? I haven't got many. You obviously don't give a flying hoot about the future generations of the club, do you? He couldn't have cared less. He's like, well, we haven't got all that many. Oh, fucking basically, really, what he said to you. Jamie's Rockin' Soul. Hi Jamie. Another Jamie's Rockin' Soul. YouTube has a YouTube channel. You can watch him. FL Hayden says, Blackburn R's went on sale today at £349 for an adult. Yes, of course. Same thing. That seems reasonable, I suppose. Minimum wage has gone up £1. Oh, minimum wage has gone up by £1, not the tickets. Oh, yeah, sorry. Yeah, the minimum wage. Yeah, it's gone up by £1. So that'll be really, 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 costing Blackpool Football Club fortune. I wonder how much Julian Winter's wage is. What do you reckon? 6 figures? Would you say 6 figures? Would you pay him 6 figures? I mean, he didn't do a good job last year, did he? He didn't even think of 4 incentives. He forgot about. I think he forgot. It wasn't in his plan. He hadn't read it anywhere, so he didn't think, we can do 4. We actually do 4 incentives. Just obviously forgot that is 100,000, whatever he's on a year. God, I don't know. Yes, Julian. Well, yes, of course. Answering MK. Julian Winter, of course. So we're in safe hands. It is cutting out, says Eugene McGeever. Oh no. I hope it's not cutting out. Let me know if it is. There's not a lot I can do. Ryan Dunbar says, this is a message to Blackpool FC. If anyone from the club is watching, if Simon Sadler does go down, can we make sure our new owner isn't, a criminal? Well, he's not criminal. Yeah, that's if. It's all a big if. All obviously an if. And it's not Simon Sadler particularly, is it? It's a member of his staff, I do think. I don't know. It's insider trading. I don't know if you can actually avoid insider trading a bit when you're doing that kind of thing. I don't know. It's not for me to judge. That's for a Hong Kong judge to judge. How do you think people should pay for a season ticket next season? To be honest with you, are those prices the entertainment we get? Listening to this clown inspire me to buy one? No. No, I don't. I don't at all. I can't, honestly. What? Was there anything in that interview that made you think, my God, yes, I understand, Julian. Yes, that's brilliant. Yes, that's marvelous. Thank you for shining a light on the reason why I should spend that money. And I tell you what, I'm behind you, pal. You've cheered me up no end. I'm going to buy that season ticket because you, pal, have inspired me to get a season ticket with that Churchillian speech that you gave. Did he do any of that? Or did he piss you off like he's pissed me off and probably everybody else? Did that interview, the whole thing, the drinking of the water at the start, looking like a man who was facing a barrage of questions, the fact that he didn't answer the question, would you pay £40 to go and watch him? Do you think that's a reasonable price? £35? Do you think that's a reasonable price? Well, of course, it depends on how good the football is. Exactly, it depends on how good the football is. What are you going to do to give us good football next season? Play the Blackpool way. What are you doing? What have you said, Julian, to encourage all of us to buy another season ticket? I mean, I'm going to buy 2. Have to do, don't I really? It's my channel. If it wasn't my channel, I probably wouldn't, to be honest. I'd just pick and choose a few games and, and see how it goes. Committing myself to another year torture half the time. Half probably the fact that, Jane and I are not together anymore was the stress of it all. It was so stressful last season. It didn't help. It doesn't help relationships. It doesn't help your mental state of mind, does it? Premier League tickets are download on your phone. That's Eugene Giver. John Hart says, I've got 2 BFC mad girls. They've been on your channel. Can't make it every week due to their other sporting commitments. Next season, if we have 3 to 4 home games in a month, I'm looking at £300 to £400. It's just ridiculous, isn't it? It's just ridiculous. I mean, families just can't afford that in Blackpool. Well, it's not going to happen, is it? I mean, that is not going to happen. And this is the problem. They can raise the money and they can put it all up thinking this is going to get us more money, but it's just going to drive people away. People, not just, people who really want to support the club, but literally can't afford it. Steve Huntley says, I really don't think Salah wanted us promoted last season. No, he just wanted to keep us down and spank our arses a bit more with season ticket prices. That's £1,035. The club is worse off with 3 spare seats to fill. CEO has no idea. Did he watch Blackpool last year or did he turn up on the 2 good games we played well? Well, there was a few, maybe it was only 2. I thought there was a few more than that, but there was a lot of time where we did win, but we didn't play particularly well. It wasn't entertaining. It wasn't good for your mental health. It's not good for your mental health most of the time watching football, but last season was very poor. Burton Albion ruined Christmas for me. The last game of the season, I just couldn't get over how bad we were and how Crits continued playing a system that didn't work on the final day of the system, which once again didn't work. Gaz Tate says, you can't press anyone at the club. They will get banned. Bad word, okay, Twitter, and you're blocked. Well, there we go. No, you can't. You've got to be careful what you say. You can say it here, though. The G fan says, are you going to see Crawley next season? No, I am not. No, not at all. Craig Perrin says, Daz Tate, is that supposed to be a punishment? Yes, Trev Smith is here just to make us all feel better. Thank you, Trev. Some Middlesbrough season tickets are £630. It is no longer, is it? It's no longer the game of the people, is it? It's no longer. Steve 08208882. Do you think the club will likely to see forums and think about adjustments on ticket prices before season starts, try and win fans back? Well, they're going to have to do, they'd have to eat a lot of humble pie. I mean, they will have seriously pissed off most fans. Most fans. Some people can afford it. And they're on good incomes or whatever. But most people, the majority of people who live in Blackpool are, struggling. It's there is a financial energy, whatever crisis, isn't there? There's a money crisis, and in Blackpool, it's probably one of the worst places. So Julian Winter's answer to that is that, well, the club have got it hard as well. So we've just got to slap your arse, I'm afraid. We don't really care about you because we care about us. We care about us and we care about Simon Sadler and we don't want him chipping money. We're going to stuff you. We're going to slap you with a rise. We don't care how hard it is for you. We don't care about the financial hardships of people in Blackpool. We're struggling too. Simon has to chip in £5 million a year. We care about him. That's basically what he was saying, wasn't he? Ryan Dunbar says the season ticket at Rangers is even cheaper than Blackpool. What does that say? You just say quite a lot, Ryan, I've got to say. George BFC, we need at least 10,000 Blackpool fans inside Bloomfield Road. For me, the atmosphere was better the year we went down from the Championship. Yeah. And people are going to be people are going to be cheesed off, aren't they? They're paying so much money. And if they're paying all that much money, then it better bloody be a good product. You know what I mean? Or else the boos are going to get worse. People are going to be more aggressive. The whole thing is just, why piss everybody off? Craig Perrin, everyone does it. It's his boss, so he has to go with his decision. That's indeed if he's made it. We will hopefully find out at the fans forum. I'm sure the fans forum is going to be heated, isn't it? Blackpool Seasiders together, they call it. Ryan Dummer says, all I got to in the interview was there were some positives, and then you switched off. Yeah, my mic is breaking up quite badly. Oh dear. I don't know why. I don't know why. I don't know why. I can just, should I just see if I can fix it? Just let me have a little look, see if I can. Let me just check the connections on the other feed. Let me just have a little break. I'll just, if I can fix it. Right. Okay. Well, I've unplugged and plugged back in, so that's all I can do. So I'm sorry if it's breaking up. I don't know why it is. Right, FPL Hayes said another problem is that there's so many football clubs in the northwest, so the fair weather fans can pick and choose elsewhere, meaning Blackpool miss out. Yes, they can, of course, fair weather fans. People also, not everybody lives in Blackpool. You know, is for Blackpool. You know, watch Blackpool. It's an intransigent town where it's not like everybody lives in certain towns or from that town, but not Blackpool. So you have that, and actually comparing the prices to entertainment and for holidaymakers coming to the pleasure beach, say for instance, was just crazy. Oh yes, I find this hilarious as well. This category 1 and category 2 games. It's almost as if like they're talking about as like we're a Premier League club. We have category 1 and category 2 games. I mean, what are the category 1 games? Probably the Derby game. So Bolton would be a category 1, but even so, it's League One. Does it justify having a category 1 League One game? It's just there can't be that many. Would you consider Wigan a category 1 game? Would you consider it that? Huddersfield, category 1 game, maybe. But I still feel that the category 1 doesn't really fit with League One as much as it would do as if you were in the Premier League, you were playing like Manchester United, Man City, or something like that. So, if you work for good company, opinions and being challenged should be welcomed. I don't have any confidence in these forums either. They'll carefully select the people and questions, etc. However, knowing you're a fan that care, I can take your opinion on board. I hope you're well. Indeed, I don't. Well, it's Seasiders together, isn't it? They don't seem to be very together with us, do they? They're not with us, together with us. Gary, do you realistically see the training ground being built? I daren't answer that question. I've already got into trouble for saying that it's not actually being built. It's not being built at the moment, is it? It may well be, but if Simon Sadler is sowing money bags in prison, it probably won't. It just goes from bad to worse. I don't know whether Simon's guilty or whatever, but it just doesn't look very good, does it, at the moment? Dan States as a fans forum of cheerleaders. Well, I don't think the MSG would take kindly to that. Trev Smith says, I live in Manchester and have supported Middlesbrough all my life. And again, for me and my son, by the time we have tickets and train fare and spend, it's £200 more if you stay overnight. Yes, football is expensive, but then again, we'd expect, if we'd have got promotion and we were in the Championship, I would have expected the ticket prices probably to go up. I would have accepted that because we'd have had a great season. I'll be looking forward to another season in the Championship. As it actually is, we didn't. And I'm not looking forward to another season in League One. I'm not looking forward to it. I don't have any faith in the club that they're going to make great signings and they're going to play football in the way we all want to see. I don't have any faith in it. So I know I'm buying my season ticket to be tortured for the season and disappointed and all the rest of the things that go with being a Blackpool fan. And I don't feel that paying more for the same shit show that we saw last season at the end where we didn't make it, you know what I mean? And putting ourselves through all that mental torture, is it really worth paying more for? I'd actually thought we probably paid less for it. It'd still be hard to convince you to go. WG fan says, will you do live streams for Blackpool if the game on during international break? I can't live stream at the match, but if an away game, if it's an away game and it's on Sky, yes, I can do a live stream if it's away. But I can't obviously do live streams because I've got a season ticket to go to. Well, I have a season. I might not have a season ticket at this rate if they piss me off anymore. Ian Barrett says, yes. We do remember, everybody remembers Darlington, and of course, everything comes back to Darlington, and Darlington fans have raised lots and lots of money for their club, and their club actually do treat them right. It's a fan-owned club, isn't it, Ian? So you're fan-owned, so you don't have this problem. You don't have a Julian Winter coming talking to you condescendingly like we have, which is a bonus for being a Darlington fan. Craig Perrin, that's what worries me, mate. The selected wording didn't fill me with confidence. A few weeks ago, the forum would be grilling Neil Critchley for his boring stub approach. Then it turns to season ticket prices. Now it's been trumped by this court hearing with Simon Sadler. They could have timed it any better. We need someone like Tim grilling them. What we don't want is people asking what the manager likes for his tea. Having said that, I bet he has a really shit, boring tea. In fact, yes, our media team are not. When Andy Bays gets in, you see what proper journalism is, don't you? He really does go in, and he could have gone in harder. I wanted him to go even lower. I'm 35. I think keep going, Andy. Go down to 30. Press him on 30, then press him on 25 because I think 25 is a lot of money. 25 is a lot of money. Okay, for one person, 25. But 25, if you're going casually and you end up going 23 times, it's a lot of money. £25, 23 times. But if you're a couple going, that's 50 quid. 25 is 50 quid, isn't it? And if the kids are going for like, I don't know, what are they going to be for a single ticket? I don't know. You have to tell me. For a single ticket for an under 14 or whatever, it's going up and up and up. You're getting near to £100, even at cheap prices. But it's going to be more than that because it's like 30 odd pound, 60 odd pound. It's frightening. It's absolutely frightening. Lee Pascoe says, I've not seen the price for overseas fan yet. Was 170 last year. Any news? No. I don't even know if they're still doing it. Are they still doing Tangerine TV to overseas fans? Because I know Sky have taken over, obviously, the EFL. So I'm not sure. Tangerine TV as it is now is no more. There'll be no more games for fans in the UK because of Sky. But I don't know how it works with overseas. Steve Huntley says if Salah can't afford the club, he should either bring in investors or sell up. There is a growing feeling that people would wish he would sell up, to be honest, because there is that growing feeling. I get it all the time. I get messages all the time. Loudmouth BFC says football is a business. Has been the last. We've got to say it in a like Cockney. Football is a business. Has been the last 30 years and will only continue this way. Clubs don't care if you go. Our chairman Barnett said he only needed 400 customers inside the ground to make a profit. Well, we're not making a profit. I mean, Simon Sadler, bless his cotton socks, is shoving in $5 million a year to keep us going. But unfortunately, he's not providing. Somehow, he's missing the football side of it all, and he's just getting more and more aggravation because he's not concentrating on the football. We've done all that, but Julian Winter said that, according to Julian Winter, the third biggest revenue stream for Blackpool Football Club is the fan base, and they're basically, what I'm trying to say to Julian Winter is, you said we're the third most important thing, so we should be the third highest priority to look after. You should be looking after us. And you are not looking after us because you clearly don't care about the cost of living crisis. It's just you're affected by it. Blackpool Football Club are affected by the cost of living prices and the prices of gas and electric going up and all the rest of it. And it's harder to run. But you're all multi-millionaires, billionaires, whatever you all are. So you don't understand the trouble is people like Julian Winter haven't got a clue what it's like to be, on the breadline, trying to just put food on the table. They don't understand that, do they? And they clearly don't care. But they should care because he's saying we're the third most important revenue stream. So they should care about us. They shouldn't be wanting to, bend over, pants down, spank us. Willow says EFL are being called the best leagues in the world because the top level is being dominated by the same people, and I can see why prices will go up as demand increases. Well, it's obviously clearly not. It's clearly not for us. There'll just be no fans at stadiums in the end. Will there'll be nobody going. Nobody will be able to afford to go. No. Shazza Harvey says lots of games next season will be on Sky. Every midweek game is live. Is that every game in every league? Is that what it is? I don't know, but if we're away, I can do a live stream. It's on Sky. Gary says we need some Hong Kong bigwigs to invest in our club. We need to find somebody to help him invest. He clearly hasn't got the money, has he? I mean, he's clearly struggling because Julian Winter's very concerned for him and doesn't want him to keep having to chip in all the time. He wants us to chip in a bit more to help Simon Sadler out. I think that was that the gist. We all have to pay more to help Simon in his struggle. Is that really? That's kind of the reasoning behind it, isn't it? Really, that he doesn't want Simon to keep chipping in his $5 million, so he's going to raise all the prices so he can raise more money out of us, so Simon doesn't have to chip his $5 million every year. Stephen Roberts says we can't see the future, but we do know it can only get better. BFC is a business, but they need to show improvement. If they put prices up, we will want value. Yes, we do indeed. Yes, we want to see something for this price increase, don't we? Then there bloody well better be. That's if anybody's going to watch it. Scott Eves, it won't be the only grilling Simon Sadler gets this summer. Recruitment had better be right this summer. Oh, we are in huge trouble. Yes, we are. If they're charging us more and they give us worse, or, I mean, they're going into loans again, aren't they? The loans. So it's going to be more loans. One of the things I hate about loans is we get these great songs for these loan players and then they've gone and we can't sing them anymore. So we won't be able to sing that Dembele song. So let's come up with a new song. That was a great song, wasn't it? But it's gone. We need to sign players, don't we? So each season, pissing the fans off before we kick a ball. What's wrong with these guys? Why don't they listen to fans? I don't know, Duncan. I don't know. It is, you couldn't make it up, really, can you? And this guy seems more, I mean, everybody hated Ben Mansford, didn't they? Bullshit Ben, but this guy takes it to another level, doesn't he? Was he the worst CEO you've ever seen in your life? Was he? I actually couldn't believe what I was watching. I couldn't believe I've never seen him before. I just thought, oh my God. This is like worse than I could have ever imagined any CEO could ever be. It's just awful. Just awful attitude on him, awful face on him, awful. Zero personality. Just, oh God, no. He wasn't listening to anything, was he? He was just, he has to raise money for Simon and he's going to raise it through us. Dave Hanson, I get the feeling every club that brings a full allocation will be category 1, so we take more money off the away fans. Yes, indeed. That'll be it. Well, yes, boycott again, says Luke. Olé, olé. Well, it's looking that way, isn't it? It's not going to be hard, is it? Steve Huntley said, if there's one thing that COVID taught us, it's football without fans. It's nothing. Indeed. So why piss us all off? I mean, you've all watched it. It's at the start of this video as well, this interview. You can watch it on Twitter. It's so bad. It's incredibly bad. Shazza Harvey says, yes, every midweek game is live. It's taken over. Okay, from iFollow. So there's no iFollow anymore. So there's just every live midweek game. So any away midweek game is going to be on Sky. That's great. I can do watch alongs. Stephen Roberts said if Oyston paid the council tax, or Scum paid the council tax, that might help. Yeah, indeed. Eugene McGee said, I think they will be more Americans come up to it to take over the football clubs. Well, Jamie Nelson says, we will go bust soon. Well, it all depends on what's going to happen to Simon Sadler, doesn't it? Ian Barron says, boycott the first game. Home game of next season. Yeah, well, it would say something, wouldn't it? Twin G fan says, surely Simon Sadler's not as bad as the Oystons. Yes, probably. He's not endearing himself, though, is he, at the moment to us? None of this is endearing him to fans, is it really? It's as if he's deliberately trying to pee everybody off. John Gribben says, where did the money go from the sale of players? Well, it's all in the accounts. We are losing money. I mean, we are hemorrhaging money, but I would say that, if I was in charge if I was CEO, I'd be wanting to make sure that our recruitment policy and our scouting system was really top notch, and we found the little diamonds. I would say that's the most important thing, and the football's the most important thing. And I think if you get the football right, the fans will come. The fans, even if you get the football right, but it doesn't matter how much you charge, overcharge, or you undercharge. It doesn't matter if the football's not right. The whole thing is just a disaster. So that's your most important thing. That's your starting point, the scouting network, the recruitment. If we are a club, they keep saying that we have one of the highest wage bills in League One, but we didn't get promoted. So something is wrong there. And that's what I'd be looking at. That's the problem right there. Why are we paying top money for a team that didn't get promoted? If we're the highest in League One, why did we not get promoted? And we sold plenty of season tickets last year. If the football had been right, we'd have gone up. So I would say that would be the thing I'd be looking at more than anything else. And the thing is as well that your sponsorship raises lots of money as well. And if football's no good, you're not going to get them either, are you? You know, you're not going to get those sort of big money. So that's your football's your main priority. Getting that wage bill down is getting value for money for your wage bill. If you're going to be the top players, you've got to get promoted. It's no good paying top money and missing out on the top six, isn't it? So somewhere in that, I don't know if that makes sense to everybody else, but that, if I was CEO, would be my first priority. Not rinsing the fans of even more money to help Simon Sadler. You'd help Simon Sadler if there was 15,000 going in, because you were locking him out because the football was so good and we're top of the league. That's what you should be concentrating on. To get more revenue, you have to be up near the bloody top of the league from the start. You want to have a season where we're top of the league all the way through. Don't finish with the highest points ever in League One. That'll bring money into the club. That is your job, Julian. That is your flipping job. Eugene McGill says, yes, I will do Euro watch-alongs. Stephen 0882 says, my wife, myself, and 2 kids started coming back the last 2 seasons after a long break, barely missing any home games. Well, that's great. Are you happy with the prices they've done then too? Is it affecting you? I don't know how old the kids are. Are you paying extra for everybody? Is it all right? Were you happy with the football last season, just to be back, feeling great watching football, or were you a bit disappointed like a lot of people were? Willow says, the one thing FIFA, UEFA and other continental FAs, every national FA don't understand without fans, there is no money, so they just stop taking advantage of clubs and fans. Yes, they do. Stephen Roberts says, Sadler was told, mess us about and we will let you know a boycott may just be coming. Indeed, it bloody well could. And we are militant. And the thing is, you know, we walked away for 5 years and a lot of us found better, good things to do on a Saturday. I thought, in the end, 5 years, you weren't missing it quite as much, were you, in your life? You were doing things on a Saturday, and it would be very easy for people to walk away from it again. It would be easy, and if you keep peeing people off, they won't renew. I don't think we'll have a big take-up. I think this will be a lot worse take-up of season tickets than. No, I think it was going to be bad anyway because of the football we play, but now they've just lit the touch paper, haven't they? Gary says, I think the whole board need taking a long walk around Blackpool and then giving a dose of realism. That stadium will be virtually empty next season. Wow. I wouldn't feel sorry for them if it was, to be honest, because they are coconuts, aren't they? Yeah, indeed, Willow, yeah. Instead of taking advantage and maybe help out so we can have lower prices. It would be good, wouldn't it? It is mainly the away record. It was, but that was last season. We got rid of, how many is it? 8 have gone. And we lost Kenny Dougal, obviously, and Jordan Rhodes going back. We know Dembele. So what's it going to be like next season? Who's coming in? Who are they going to bring in? They're clearly not going to be able to bring many in. If not many people take up season tickets, are they? That's the problem. They wanted a massive rush of season. They wanted a big statement to get people to buy season tickets, didn't they? And what they've actually done is complete polar opposite to what you would have done to encourage people to go again, isn't it? WG fans, they're just not capable of playing quality football away from Bloomfield Road. Well, they were. The Prime Minister. Well, you couldn't do any worse, could you? I mean, you just couldn't do any worse than any of them. I don't know why anybody actually thinks that Labour are going to do well. Or they're all just terrible. They're all terrible. There's not one politician that can lie straight in bed at night, is there? Oh, I think I must have already read that one. Oh, you've written that one again. Bradley Jones is here. Bradley. Bradley says, even Lee, Berry lost the playoff final, so heartbroken up the pool. Oh, Bradley, I'm sorry to hear that. Yeah. Craig Berry says, I will report you for child abuse, making your kids watch this side. I always think that, with our parents, why did they abuse us by taking us to watch Blackpool? Why do they ruin our lives with it? He says, our hope, our one and only hope, is Rob Apter riding in to save us. He is the Dembele. Does his name go with the Dembele song? I don't think it does. David Stevens says, the club are going backwards. We need kids for our future in this club. It's bad enough having that so-called manager in charge. Yes, but the thing is, according to Julian Winter, we haven't got that many. Well, if we haven't got that many, why have we not got that many, Julian? That's the question. How can you sit there with a straight face and say, oh, we haven't got many kids? They're the bloody future. They're the most important fans, really, of all. They're the ones that are going to be carrying this club for, for years to come, bringing their kids and their grandchildren. They're the future us, aren't they? And they're important. If we haven't got that many, what are you doing? And you're going to have even less. You're going to have even less. John Goodman says, with unrest in Hong Kong, does that have something to do with Sadler and investments and ticket prices? Well, that's the thing, isn't it? I mean, obviously, Julian's very concerned about his $5 million that has to keep pumping in. And we have heard, like I've said, that he's giving all his investors the money back, is he? So will he have any money at the end of that? I don't quite know how it works. I don't know. Somebody maybe can fill me in, but he's giving all the money back. Yeah, that's it. So just going back to this Julian Winter thing. Let's have a look. What else have I put? Yes, he actually, Julian Winter did say he thinks those prices will be good value. They will be good value, according to Julian. So whatever they're charging, that will be good value. But he didn't say anything to convince you really that it would be good value. There was nothing in the interview that made you think, yes, this guy is switched on. This guy knows what he's doing. You know what I mean? If you went to like, if you're invited along to like a multi-level market meeting, yeah, and they brought this guy down from London, he was head of the company, and you're gone, your family had invited you, all sat round, in a hotel room somewhere in Blackpool. This guy came in to tell you how you were all going to make a fortune. You'd have to have a bit of charisma, wouldn't he? He'd have to inspire you to buy into his multi-level market scheme. He'd have to have the charm. He'd have to have the panache. He'd have to have something inside him that made you think, yeah, God, yeah, I like this guy. I like this guy a lot. And I tell you what, I believe in him. There was nothing in that interview with Julian Winter that inspired me, that made me think, yeah, this is a guy I want to get behind. Yeah, this is a guy I'm really happy he's running our club. He's a guy that, in spite of the failure of last year, saw something that nobody else did. So a lot of positives from last season, where most of us were not seeing any positives at all, really. Just doom and gloom, really, weren't we? Our positives were Jordan Rhodes, who got injured. Our positives were Dembele, who's going. Our positive was Kenny Dougal, finally getting his act together in midfield and ripping Portsmouth apart. Gone. Ekpiteta, gone. Just honestly, it's just frightening. John Gribben says, it's Critchley's fault why we play bad away, sticking to the same old formation as if away he did not. Well, this is it. And this is why a lot of people were saying that they weren't going to renew their season ticket if Critch was still manager. So there was already a lot of unrest within the fan base of Blackpool Football Club. I say it so many times that the fan base is really, really important, because Blackpool fans, if they're behind the club, make lots of noise, and we can... we sound like there's 30,000 of us there, and we make the club perform miracles. We have done in the past. But if you totally cheese us off and you don't get us excited about the football, and you don't talk to us in a way that makes us, want to support you and want to be behind you, then you lose all that advantage of Blackpool football fans. And if you lose that, you really are not going to do very well, and you're not going to succeed. So as I was saying, if I was CEO of the club, that would be my main priority. Not rinsing the fans to get more money so Simon doesn't have to chip in quite as much. It would be to make sure that the football was good enough that the fans were coming in numbers and were getting locked out, so Simon didn't have to chip in, and also got promoted, so he'd get more money next season, wouldn't he, in the Championship? And then if we could cheer him on and get him into the Premier League from the Championship, which is always possible. We know it's possible. It's hard, but it's possible. But if we did that, Simon Sadler would never have a problem in the world. If he didn't spend any money, got in the Premier League, took 150 million and the parachute payments, Blackpool Football Club would be sorted forever. So that's really what you want to do. You want the fans cheering us on into the Championship, into the Premier League. That's the kind of the dream. But instead, they're just pissing us all off, aren't they? And WG fan says, well done to Rob Apter for winning an award this season with Tranmere. Yeah, well done, Rob Apter. Gary says, anything below mid-table by experts, I imagine a major fans boycott and protest in response to these stupid price hikes as the product isn't fit for purpose. Well, that is coming, isn't it, if it's not? And the thing is, I don't honestly think, I don't know what you think, but I'll be surprised if there is as big a take-up of season tickets as there was last season. I mean, we were close to 10,000, weren't we, last season tickets? Were we 9,000 something? I can't remember the exact numbers of season tickets sold. Maybe somebody can post. Was it 7? Whatever it was, but there's going to be less. There's no way. I mean, just purely logistically, like price-wise, with the economy as it is, and the fuel crisis and everything else, the cost of living crisis that we're in, people will not be able to afford to pay that. Some people will not be able to afford that, especially if they're a family of 4. They will not be renewing because they won't be able to afford the increase. So they're going to go. There's the ones that are sort of the fair weathers. I work with a guy, he's really a Blackburn Rovers fan. He's Blackburn Rovers, but lives in Blackpool. His son comes to Blackpool games and he buys 2 season tickets for them and he goes to watch Blackpool. But he is Blackburn Rovers, but he watches Blackpool and he wants Blackpool to do well, but he's not going to renew this season. So that's dude on there that I just know. I'm sure everybody has a story about somebody who's not going to renew this season, and this will be putting off more people. It will put off more people. It has been received like a big lead balloon, and it's no surprise. And anybody who's watched that Julian Winter thing, it's at the start of this. If you want to, you can also watch it on Twitter. It's frightening. I said earlier, if you came into the stream late, but I said somebody on a view from the tower said Julian Winter looked like a guy that had been delivering parcels at the ground, and they just like ushered him in and said, just answer a few questions, because he didn't have a clue about anything, did he? About whether, he didn't really have answers to things. He didn't answer questions. And he did look like a man who was just delivering parcels. He didn't look like a CEO at all, did he? Well, not what you'd hope a charismatic CEO would look like. I don't know what a CEO looks like, but he didn't talk like one. He didn't seem very professional to me at all. Stephen Roberts said, I don't want another 5 years away from BFCs. Sadler needs to be honest with us. This fans forum coming up could get interesting as long as questions aren't sanitized first. Well, they will be, won't they? But it's hardly Seasiders together at the moment, is it? Craig Perrin says he can't wait to see Apter at centre-back. Yeah, that'll be it. Stephen Roberts reckons there will be less than 5,000 season tickets this year. I reckon, yeah. And you could well be right. David Stevens says the knobbers, as much as we hate them doing the right things, that's why they get bigger gates. Yes, they do, supporting young fans. But they're pumping money in as well, aren't they? They're spending all the time, overspending and failing, overspending and failing. Their debts are going up and up. So I don't think they're the model, really. But I get what you're saying. Yeah, they do get bigger gates. But the difference between, Knobbers fans and us is we're a lot louder than them. We are a lot louder There's no club like Blackpool. There's no club that you go. I mean, Jane and I went to every single championship game of, the 2 seasons before, and there's no team anywhere that sings all the way through the game. Just, there was that football vlogger from Scotland that came, and he was like, God, they even have like a song for a corner. We even have a song for a corner. He'd never seen it before. Footy Adventures. Footy Adventures came. He said, God, they've got a song for a corner. We have that's what we have. We at Blackpool are in charge, not thinking of anything else but ripping fans off, and match day price is too much. Plus, all they think is getting as much money from away fans too. It is crazy. Yes, it is. WG fan says, do you think Blackpool might be running off to other clubs next season? Blackpool fans, you mean? Well, anybody who's not like a dyed-in-the-wool Blackpool fan, or not from Blackpool, somebody, who follows football, may just go and watch AFC Fylde or something. It doesn't really matter, does it? It's football at the end of the day. Huddersfield Town Fan TV says, so out of touch by Blackpool Football Club. Football without the fans is nothing. Us at Huddersfield are lucky as the season ticket prices have been frozen, the cheapest around. Yes, indeed. Embarrassing. You might as well ground share at AFC Fylde. It would save you money and would a better atmosphere with being a bit small. We wouldn't all fit into AFC Fylde's ground. That's the only problem with that idea. We couldn't all fit in if we were doing well. But yes, I just think a lot of people may go, as I say, may go and watch AFC Fylde maybe instead. Certainly those that aren't really, that bothered about Blackpool, really. Duncan Wood, we have a few okay players, but the squad looks the bottom half of table. We need a goal scorer. Joseph was poor, Beasley okay, but we need a 20-plus goal scorer to compete in the top half. Julian Winter's idea of actually doing that is to charge the fans more in the hope that revenue goes up. He did say that he needs the revenue to go up, and the way the genius idea that he's come up with all, in his conference with the club, genius idea is to put the prices up, which is actually going to probably reduce the amount of tickets that we sell. I'd be very surprised if we sell as many season tickets as we did last year with this news. I don't think it's been received very well. The Gazette are telling them that. Radio Lancashire are telling them that. Andy Bays was kind of telling Julian Winter it wasn't a good idea, and he wasn't really listening to Andy Bays, was he? And they won't be listening to this, and they won't be listening on the fans forum because they don't listen. Gary says, not just the ticket prices either, is it? But the family, buy the family a pie, a rather expensive pie, and a drink each. It's not sustainable for most fans to cope with. Very sad times indeed. Indeed, Willow says, us as fans need to stand up to corruption, and one day we can see the cheapest season ticket prices ever. It's sad that we can't go to these games without worrying about not paying bills, rent, mortgage, etc. Exactly, people. It's a cost of living crisis we're in. Julian Winter's answer to that was that, well, we're in the club are also in this financial crisis. We've had to up the minimum wage and pay the minimum wage more. I mean, I'd say the minimum wage was the last of the club's worries, surely. It'd be the last of the worries. The main worries are the fact that we pay the highest money. We have the highest wage bill in League One, and we didn't get up. We didn't get up. If I was Simon Sadler, I'd be on the phone to Julian Winter saying, look, I'm paying you all this money. I'm giving all this money to these players that you're all signing off, and you didn't get up. You didn't get me in the championship. What are you doing, Julian? You're sacked. Like Al Sugar. You're sacked. It's back to the comments here. I have to go back a bit. There's a few more coming here. Stephen Roberts said, Blackpool in trouble. Could be Fleetwood's advantage, especially if Charlie's still there. I'd watch them going well in League Two. I think that means. I wouldn't, I've got to say. But Huddersfield Town fan to most clubs treat fans like mugs. Taking advantage of fans and pricing a lot of fans out is unacceptable indeed it is. And Blackpool is one of the lowest, you know, the income in Blackpool is one of the lowest in the country. So why would Julian Winter want to save Simon Sadler a bob or two by rinsing the fans for even more money, which is what he was saying in a nutshell, isn't it? Did you know that Blackpool's the North East club in League One next season? I didn't know that. North East, Northwest. Do you mean? Is the northest, or is the club that's the highest up the? Yeah, it probably is with Carlisle going. Yeah, it will be. John Grimmett said, very sad, but I know I will be renewing my season ticket. I'm just going to wait till the last minute to pay. It is very sad. It's very sad. It's very sad that, you know, it's very sad indeed, isn't it? We have to renew our season ticket. I mean, I've pledged to do this thing with former players. I'm starting to regret every day now why I pledged to do this. I'm thinking, why not just do watch-alongs when we're in midweek and just pick and choose a few games and maybe not get a season ticket? I don't know. I'm not sure if I need to, like Simon Sadler, I need to refund everybody the money that's chipped in, because we haven't even raised the season ticket yet. Julian Winter's attitude, disposition, dismissive, condescending tone during the Andy Bates interview reminded me so much of that other massive twat, Carl Oyston. In fact, this whole season match day, yes, in fact, he did, didn't he? He just was condescending beyond belief, wasn't he? It was awful. And I hate people who say, you know, we need to raise more money, right? It's just like, right, yeah, I am right, aren't I? I'm talking right. It's like, it's all talking down to you, isn't it? It's talking down to people when you talk like that. That was the first thing that, honestly, it was like, honestly, I could feel smoke coming out my ears. You know, we need to raise more money, right? Yeah. No, you're not right. Yeah, raise more money, right, but not in the way you're doing it, because I tell you, it's not a plan that's going to work. It's a bad one. It's to fill the greed of the owners and the other board members. Indeed, he'd be on so much money, he won't have a clue what the cost of living bloody crisis is, will he? Embarrassers. I remember Darlington FC having Jonathan Hogg on loan back in the day, memories. Yes, it's funny how it all went wrong at Darlington. But you're back. You're a fan-owned club now. You won't have any of these problems, Ian. You won't have bloody people like Julian Winter talking down to you, will you? Copyright says ticket increase plan could have been right from the Oyston playbook. It could well have been right from the Oyston playbook. Yeah, but at least, I mean, Owen Oyston did have some, you know, I've got to say, he did have a bit of charm about him, didn't he? You know, he did have a bit of panache, even though we all hated him. I mean, this Julian Winter was just, oh, man. I mean, if he came to an interview and I was on the club and I spoke to him, I'd be like, who is this clown? Craig Perrin says, here we go. I'll be serious for a moment. Recruitment for players and staff is atrocious. In regards to players, are we looking for youth with a sound value, or are we trying to sign 30-plus-year-old strikers whose legs have fallen off? There's no plan. There's no direction. It's in the boardroom. It's in the management team. And it certainly shows across the players. The atmosphere in home games between December and April was awful. And that's because, for the most part, the football was awful. But Julian Winter thought his product was good. He thought it was good. Well, I'm sorry, Julian, but it wasn't good at all last season. It wasn't good. At times, there was a few times where it was really good, and we really enjoyed it and played really well. But for the majority of the season, it was awful. Even when we were winning, it was awful. But this is the problem, isn't it? You know, what you're saying there, Craig, you know, it is awful, isn't it? Recruitment for players and staff is atrocious. But the thing is that these guys that are in charge of this recruitment, as I said before, they're getting these players in and they're paying, you know, according to them, where we have one of the highest, you know, salaries in League One. But it didn't get us up. So, ipso facto, whatever you say, if you're paying the most money and you're recruiting all these players and they're not good enough, then where does the book stop on that? Because that's the problem. It's not the fact that the fans are, he's actually confirmed that the fans are the third highest revenue to the club. So the fans did their bit. It's whoever recruited the players, whoever recruited the manager, all that. I mean, obviously the buck stops at Simon Sadler at the end of the day, but these people are in charge at the club. A CEO is doing the work for Simon Sadler, and his head should be on the block, really, shouldn't it? Dalek is on. When it comes up, there we go. You said a few weeks ago you weren't overly impressed with Bolton, Lee, and you were proven right. Yes, I wasn't overly impressed with Bolton, and I think we'd have beaten Bolton. I was hoping we would get Bolton in the final because I didn't think Bolton were all that good. We'd played them in the cup; they didn't look all that good. We played them at home, beat them convincingly, and we should have beaten them at Bolton. Really, I didn't think they were that impressive, and I wasn't sad at all that they didn't. That's quite right. And then you got Crawley, the saddest of teams to come to League One. I don't know much about Crawley, really. So just let's WG fan says, I've just been looking at the EFL trophy next season. Shrewsbury might be in the Northern Section. Is it Shrewsbury or Shrewsbury? I never know. Next season, when they were in the Southern Section this season, just passed. Interesting. Huddersfield Fan TV says Ian. I don't only. Okay, so let's talk to Ian. David Stevens says, Lee, our fans are unique. No one better in all the leagues. Yeah, if we're looked after, we're great. I agree. I'm just saying Preston have a better way of getting our young fans a future support club. Yeah, absolutely. And if we were doing the same thing, we'd be doing as well, if not better than Preston, because we're just louder. And if you look after us, we can take Blackpool anywhere. We've already proved it already. We got Blackpool to the Premier League through making a hell of a lot of noise. It was deafening, and they're not doing that, are they? They're not doing. What happened with Blackpool really was Bellicon. He came in and he said all the right things, and he came in, he put money in, he put his money where his mouth was. He built the South Stand for us. He brought players in, and we responded to it, didn't we, in a way that got us in the Premier League. These guys are not doing that. They're not doing that. They're doing everything like the complete polar opposite to what you would want to do to Blackpool fans, to get them behind you, get thousands more in, to get the atmosphere amazing. And the things that you do to do that is, one, obviously, is make the season tickets cheaper for a start off. That would be probably the first thing you do. But then you've also got to make sure that you produce a product on the football pitch. You produce football on the pitch that excites people, that has people locked out wanting to get in because it's so good. And if you do that, if you put your focus on that, then you'll have Blackpool fans that will come and will cheer them on, and you'll have an amazing atmosphere, and it can take you anywhere. But they're doing the complete opposite, aren't they? Yes, exactly. Anyway, Lee, you're doing a fantastic work, as always, doing what you do with very little support. Well, no support, zero support from the club. In fact, I'll probably be taken in over this, but it's what you're saying. I'm only reading out what you're saying. Okay, I can only give my opinion. It's my opinion, be damned, but I've got to stand by my opinion. And I just think that what Julian Winter said, his demeanour, the way he talked to us, to Andy Bays. I mean, he's got to understand that he's answering Andy Bays' question, but he's talking to us. He's pissing us all off as he's talking, isn't he? I'm sure everybody watching that, I can see you all steam come out your ear thinking, who is this bloody clown that they've got on? Who is this delivery driver that's talking, that doesn't know anything about anything, doesn't know if our prices compare to other clubs? They obviously don't compare to Huddersfield, which you should know because he was there before. Alex Cartwright says, what a great League One will be next year. Birmingham, Huddersfield, Rotherham, Peterborough, Bolton, Barnsley, Wrexham, and possibly Charlton, Wigan, and Stockport challenging for the playoffs. All Category 1. There's going to be £40 to go and see if you want to sit in a really good seats. You know, they're good seats. So Julian Winter was saying, oh, yes, but they're the good seats. So is he saying that they're the good seats? All the rest of it's bad? What's he trying to say? That's for the good. That's just for the better seats. Obviously, the better seats. I have my seat in the South Stand. I won't be anywhere else. Jamie's Rock and Soul says, I can't believe Blackpool FC haven't bought your season ticket for all the good work you do. Well, I'm not doing good work for him today, am I? I'm pissed off with him. Really, I am today. I did do good work, but yeah, they are pissing me off to the extent that I probably won't do any good work anymore for them. They don't want my help. So, right, Dolly, you said a few weeks ago you weren't all impressed. Yes, that's pretty right. Yeah. Oh, what's happened to the comments? We've gone backwards here for some reason. Yes, he was somebody else who was criminal. Well, he was, wasn't he? He was somebody. I get what you're saying, Craig. Bellicon, somebody else who was criminal. It seems to be a quality skill set. Yes, but he had a bit of. He might have been a criminal, but we liked him, didn't we? Because he came in, he said, I'm going to get you in the Premier League in 5 years. He put his money where his mouth is, criminal or not. He did what he said he was going to do, and he got us in 4 years. He had ambition. And he did things, quickly. He didn't fuck about, did he? He just got things done, brought players in, brought players over from Latvia. He did lots of stuff. And, well, so you're looking forward to my videos when the Euros come around. Yeah, thanks. Yes, let's hope England do well and give me something to cheer about. John Gribben says, hey Lee, I'm going to be positive. We're going to win the league and we're going to watch great football and the prize will be justified. Up the mighty Phil. I am thinking positive thoughts. Well, I'm glad Julian Winter inspired you to think those positive thoughts, John. Maybe we should all think positively about it. Maybe that's the message of today. Maybe we should. The Loyal Raw says, hi, mate. Making a video on rating League One teams season. How did you sum up Blackpool in 3 words? Failed recruitment policy or something. That's 3 words. Not very good. Not very good. Probably that's it. Not very good. Fan boycott soon. Craig Perry, I had to do things. Post in the comments below for the Loyal Royal. Sum Blackpool up in 3 words. Well, we don't know what he had and what he didn't have, though. We don't know. But he did it. He did it. No matter what he did. I mean, Sam Sadler's got the Hong Kong thing chasing him as well, but he hasn't done it, has he? So I don't know if that's the reason why at all. I just know he came with ambition and he did it. Huddersfield got Michael Duff less than 2 weeks ago. They're very prepared for League One next season. Yeah, well, I also saw straight away that like Rotherham, are already recruiting and looking, to get themselves back up, doing what a team that's been relegated from the Championship would do. Getting the recruitment right straight away, making yourself a force to go back up next season. We didn't do any of that, did we? We didn't do any of that. We just didn't do it. Yes, we acted quickly on getting new manager, but we need to ensure we get some players in and how to compete on the pitch. Well, you do indeed. There we are. Yes, the first 3. Yes, I like that one. Yes, that's it. WG fan. Away form sucked. It did indeed. Especially at Reading, just at the end. Oh, God. Oh, my God. Oh dear. Oh, it was just terrible, wasn't it? That game was just so disappointing. Right, I've got 331 people in this stream. Come on, I want more chat in here. Tell me what you think. Have you watched the Julian Winter interview with Alan and Base? Has he inspired you to spend more on your season ticket? Are you going to be buying a ticket? Would you buy a ticket no matter what the prices are? Can you afford it? Are you a single person on your own? Are you a family of 4? What does it mean to you? Are you not going to renew? Did you renew last year? Did you have a season ticket last year? Not going to renew. And of course, for anybody, do you know when there's always like a promotion by a club, by a company? So just say for instance, StreamYard, the company that do this live stream. There'll be a special offer on, isn't it, for new customers only. And you can't have it if you're an existing customer. You know what I mean? This discount only applies to new customers only. What do Blackpool Football Club? If you're new, it's going to be a lot more. So they're not even encouraging new people, are they? If you're thinking of renewing, if you're thinking of getting your first ever Blackpool FC season ticket, like, fuck you, basically. We don't want you. We're just going to slap you even more than anybody else. There's no special offer for new customers, is there? It's just so bad. It's just so bad. Yes, it was mad. It was pointless, wasn't it, really? You didn't need to. It didn't really matter. It didn't make a difference, did it? You weren't staying up, you were down. It was totally mad. It wasn't really mad because Brixley played exactly the way that he'd played away all season. He never changed it. We lost so many times playing that way, and he didn't do anything ever. I was listening to Simon Jordan actually on Talk Sport yesterday, and he was saying that like good managers, because they were talking about Vincent Kompany sticking to his principles and playing that way and getting relegated. And Simon Jordan was saying, yes, but he didn't think that was good. Although because they were talking about him maybe moving to Bayern Munich or whatever, where they're looking at him. And people were saying, well, he stuck to his principles and he wanted to play a certain way. But Simon Jordan was saying, great managers don't just stick to the same thing. They have other ways of playing. That makes them a great manager. And I felt like, ringing in Talk Sport, bloody hell, Critchley never changed. He lost so many away games. He never changed. And, just listening to Simon Jordan, I thought, yeah, he's right. Great managers do have more than just plan A. Jim McGee says Wayne Rooney is going to be the new manager of Plymouth tomorrow. Yeah, well, yeah, poor Plymouth. Indeed. Yes, every team that Rooney manages gets relegated. Is that actually a fact? It probably is, actually. Yeah, not a Blackpool fan, but ideally season ticket prices should go up when the team goes up. Yes, indeed. Well, but we didn't go up, so why are they going up? Exactly. We didn't go up. We didn't make it. We didn't do it. We failed, didn't we? So why are they going up? What's the reason? And certainly Julian Winter, if you just join this stream, I've said it already, if you watch the interview, did Julian Winter inspire you with all the things that are going to happen? These 4 incentives, he can't tell us right now what they are, but they're going to happen. They could have done it last year, of course, but of course it wasn't in the memo. So because it wasn't in the memo, he didn't think of doing any of the 4 incentives last year. He didn't even cross his mind, really. He's a CEO of a football club. He's come from another football club, so he knows that that's new 4 incentives. But this year, it's definitely in his plans. He's going to look after us. He's going to look after us with these four incentives. The fact that there'll be nobody there actually watching it, you can do as many bloody incentives. You can do 23 incentives. Bloody nobody there. Darlett says Blackpool, Bolton, and Wigan, the only 3 current League One clubs to have won the FA Cup. Very proud to be included there. Yes, indeed. Indeed, we are. We are. It's a shame that Wigan are included in it now. To be honest, kind of demeaned it all for me a little bit once Wigan won it. It wasn't quite the same. Didn't feel quite the same. Doing G-Fan, yeah, exactly. And Plymouth were lucky not to be relegated this season, just gone. Yes, they were. Royals go. Thank you very much. Well, there you've got it. Yeah, away form, whatever the 3 words were. Have a great stream, lads, and I wish you luck for next season. Yeah, I was actually commentate. If you just come into the stream, there's a thread on a View from the Tower, which made me laugh, and I will repeat it. But it's called the 3 C's, and the 3 C's, it's done by Insider, and he puts the 3 C's as custodian, collaborate, and communication. Max Seaside, his answer to those 3 C's were collecting children's cash, which I thought was hilarious at the time. Oh, I did howl. I thought it was hilarious. Collecting children's cash. Yes, indeed. Let's rinse the children as well for everything they've got. Poor little kid. I mean, they are the future, aren't they? But we don't have many, according to Julian Winter. If we haven't, why haven't we, Julian? Down to you. Obviously, not doing your 4 incentives last season to make sure you got them in at £1 a kid or whatever. Yeah, you did the cup games, you did that for £1. That was really good. And that's the kind of thing that, gets kids interested. But I'm sure many families are glad the kids aren't interested, because at these prices they can't afford to take them. Ali, Aliko Wan says, Lee, is there any truth in the rumour about Hong Kong and our chairman, or is it another Chinese whisper like a deep pockets with his hands? Well, it's all over the Financial Times. It's all over everywhere, isn't it? It's not a rumor anymore. It's out there in the open that his company is being investigated for insider trading. As crimes go, I don't know anything about hedge funds, and I would imagine if you're in the business of running a hedge fund, you've got to know your stuff. You have to know a little bit about it all. And I would imagine it's a very fine line between insider trading and knowing just things that you hear along the, you're in that world. I'm not in that world, so I wouldn't be able to do insider trading because I'm not in that world. But when you're in that world, I would say it's a very fine line. And I don't feel it's a crime in the way that fleecing people out of lots of money is a crime. And Andy Pilley has gone to prison for fleecing people out of money, but football clubs can fleece you out of money, and it's okay. It's perfectly fine, because we're seeing somebody who's got a company that's being done for insider trading needs to save a bob or two because he's handing all the money. Alika says, long live the coffee cartel. Indeed. Well, we need more than that. We need you to watch that other video and maybe help us out. If you're watching this, I'm trying to raise enough money to buy to buy a second season ticket. So we've even put the prices up on this. So it was a bad idea. I haven't raised enough yet to get these former players in. I need to get that raised. There's a concern over the microphones. I've said it all. I need to raise £800. We're not even halfway there yet. If I can do that, I'm starting to think I wish I hadn't have come up with this idea, because. And there we are. Yes, insider trading was only a crime after the financial crisis. Indeed, I don't know much about it, but I don't really see it. I don't know. I suppose there's different levels of it. I suppose you're making money. I mean, everybody gets tips on shares and stuff, don't they? That's the whole point of, if you're buying stock and share, you're always looking for tips and clues on, you can buy something cheap and advice, aren't you? If somebody tells you, I think that this company, they've just brought out a brand new robotic, body cleanser or something, something that goes, they've invented a submarine that they can shrink and, inject into your body and it can solve your cancer problems or something, then we'd all want to know about that, wouldn't we? And if you got wind of that, through somebody telling you, would you be insider trading? I don't really know. I don't know. Blackpool allowed to buy players while Sadler is in a court case? I don't know. I mean, it's in Hong Kong. Does it count? I don't know. I mean, the thing is you can't as far as I know, and I'm not 100% sure on this, but he's passed the EFL fit and proper persons test, just like the Oysons passed the EFL fit and proper persons test. So if he's passed that, the EFL can't then retrospectively say he's not fit and proper, and there's no financial, we're not going into receivership or anything at the moment. So yes, how I would imagine it, until there's an official receiver in, or somebody's saving the club and the club are going into administration, then I don't think we're committing any crimes over financial fair play or anything like that. So yeah, I would imagine. You're not buying Nescafe anymore. I don't blame you. Forest Fan TV is here. Look at that. I tell you what, hey, Forest Fan TV is actually thinking of. Should we talk about cameras? This is Forest Fan TV has got the ZVE10, which this is on, by the way. This is my new camera. This is on a Sigma 17-70. So around about, it's just at 35mm with a crop sensor. It's about a 50mm, but the blur is because it's a 2.8, an f2.8 aperture, and he's thinking about the Sigma 16mm 1.4. It'd be even blurrier, but I think this looks great now. I'm really pleased with the way it looks, and I'm going to be helping him out with. He's going to buy a Sigma 16, so we'll help him set it all up so it looks like this. He doesn't know much about cameras. Anyway, moving on. WG fan, yeah, me both. Oh God, here we go. Well, there we are. You mentioned it. You mentioned it, didn't you, Wolfie? I have to help you out, but yeah, you'd like it like this, wouldn't you? I think it looks. I post in the comments. Does this look better with the blurry background? Because it's not a green screen. That's all behind me. Yeah, don't we all? Don't we all wish Elicon had stayed and not bailed out? Indeed. WG fan says hopes that Forest can take care of Ipswich next season. How do you think Ipswich will go on? Oh, Wolfie. It's not because you want help with you set up your camera, but yeah, no, it's yeah, you look great yourself, Wolfie. Of course it will. You look great when I sort your camera out, sir. You will look great. But we get that Sigma 16mm f1.4. It just, it just lets in a lot more light, so your lights will smooth you out, and yeah, it's just, it'd be great. It will. You'll see a difference when you get that. It's a major upgrade to your camera. Right, anybody else? We've got 344 people in this stream and about 3 people talking to me. What is going on? You're all sat there watching. Come on, tell me. What do you think of Julian Winter? What do you think of the season ticket prices? This is your show. I want you to post in the comments here and tell me what you think. Are you renewing next season? Are you just going as a single? Are you in one of the younger age groups? Are you in an older age group? Where do you sit? Do you sit in the most expensive 6, which is something like 400 and something? 400. What's the price? Let's have a look. I've got that up somewhere. Let's just go and have a look at that. The price is. I've got it on my phone. Let's get it up. Right, so the prices are $375 for an adult in the northwest outer and the south stand. $455 for the west inner. That's blocks L and N. And if you sit in the west centre, it is £525 for your season ticket this season for one of you. If you go with your missus, that is £1,050. If you go with a junior as well, an under five sitting in the west centre, good Lord, is £429 for an under 5. Do not take your under 5 with you if you sit there, because I'll tell you what, they don't remember. Sebi was 8 when we were in the Premier League, 7 going on 8, and he doesn't remember any game. He went to every game. He doesn't remember any of it. He has no memory of it at all. Not one single memory of the Premier League season at all. And he was 7 going on 8. So 5-year-olds, honestly, they will never remember. They will have little flashes in their life that, maybe something that my dad threw me up and down in the air when Blackpool scored, and I remember that. Well, that's it. I don't remember anything else other than that. To encourage, God, early. Oh my God. What's this? Those are early bird renewals. Those, if you knew. I'm just saying this, you see on things, don't you? This offer is only available to new customers only. We're encouraging new customers in Blackpool. No, we're the opposite way around. So if you're new and you're thinking of actually coming to Blackpool for the first time, it's £395 in the South Stand. It is £545 in West Centre M. If you've got an under 5-year-old, you're going to pay £449. Can that be? Is that right? Am I reading that right? Am I reading that wrong? 449 for an under 14, 449 for an under 18. Oh my God, 18 to 21 at £545. These are kids probably at college, It's frightening, isn't it? So those prices go up if you don't get the early bird offer. If you don't get the early bird offer, the Southwest, which is the cheapest, is £365. The South Stand is £425 if you don't take up the early bird offer. West Inner is £505. And the cheapest chips, £575 to sit in West Centre Middle in League One. Eugene McGeever says, I think fans will love to watch non-league football. Indeed, is that where we're all going? Go and watch Squires Gate. They'd love us there, wouldn't they? They'd welcome us with open arms. AFC Blackpool, they play in Tangerine. Go and watch them. Go and watch AFC Blackpool. Go and watch Squires Gate. You can buy a pint. You can drink a pint while you can take your dog. If you've got a dog, take your dog. You can film that. If you go there as a football vlogger, you can interview the manager. You can interview the man of the match. They love you there. They want the promotion. They want you to be there with your camera. Maybe I'll go and watch Squires Gate next season. It would be even better, wouldn't it? League 1 says under 5 should be free. Not in West Centre Mid. No way. They are. Well, if you miss the early bird, £479 taken under 5-year-old. £479 taken under 5-year-old. You'd be better just paying a babysitter, wouldn't you? Putting him in a blooming. Somebody take him to a wacky warehouse or something. Mackenzie Child says, I think we will have to start supporting Squires Gate or AFC Fylde. Little Town fan says, shocking. They are, aren't they? Is it me, or is that just unbelievable? It's unbelievable. It is really, really unbelievable. Under 14s in the South Stand are now going to be, on the early bird, are going to be £109 in the South Stand. Not in the corner, in the South Stand, 109. Blimey. And if you go in the West, just in the West, Inner, which is L and N, which is not even the middle, and under 14 is £259 for an under 14-year-old. Alika said, I take it his legal team are going to be costing a few quid. Well, yeah. Yeah. Is that why they've put prices up to? Well, according to Julian Winter, as I've said, they are putting basically the gist of what Julian Winter is saying in a nutshell is he doesn't want Simon Saddle to have to keep chipping in his $5 million. And the club are also going through this cost of living crisis, and they've got to pay for that. And the best way that they've thought of so far of raising the money for themselves and to help Simon Sadler is to rinse you, me, and everybody else who's buying a season ticket or going to a Blackpool football game to help them in their cost of living crisis. They haven't got any better ideas than that. They can't think of anything better than just putting the prices up. And I think most people would probably agree that if you put prices up so much that you're not going to sell that many season tickets this year. So that is a flawed thing. What would be better is actually reducing them by £10 and selling an extra 2,000 season tickets on top. Would you not think? Maybe I can't do the maths, but you'd have a better atmosphere and everybody would be happy and everybody going to cheer you on, and that can take anywhere. But hey, and God help them, I tell you, if the football's terrible, we've got early bird till June the 29th. We've got quite a way. Let it all out. Indeed, I am letting it all out today. I am in a state of shock, Gurney. I can't believe. I can't. Well, does he? Does he want to become? Does he want to become Oyster Part 2 with these sort of prices? It is ridiculous. Well, I've got to say, this may sound a little bit controversial, but I thought Julian Winter came across as bad as anything ever. I thought he came across as probably the worst. I mean, Carl would probably go down as the worst, but he's giving him a run for his money with that condescending tone that he talked to us. By the way, it is, if you haven't seen it yet on Twitter, it's on Twitter, Radio Lancashire. There is a thread on A View from the Tower about with Winter talking. You can click on the links there and follow that if you're on Twitter. If you're not on Twitter, you can follow this and start the video. I do play the Julian Winter interview, and if you haven't got steam coming out of your ears by the end of it, you are not a Blackpool fan, or you are just prepared to have your pants royally pulled down and spanked beyond belief if you don't think well, he doesn't encourage you. There's nothing in that interview that would make you want to believe that this man is going to do any good, to believe that he's got any good ideas, to believe he can come up with something, to believe anything is going to be better next season. He thinks it was good last season. He thinks it's going to be good this season. Well, he thinks it is, but he's not telling us anything that makes me believe it is. John Gribben says, because my son is 22 this year, his ticket has gone up £100 to 375 from 275. It's a lot of money, isn't it? It's a lot of money at that age when you want to date girls and buy cars and go out with your mates and do all the things that 22-year-old young lads want to do. And I would imagine that the football starts to become less and less and less of a priority. Kearney says, John Gibbon, yes, good job. He's got a loving father then. Suggesting knew that, is it? Right, okay. Oh, it's his birthday present. Well, fair enough. That's a good, well, I'd say it's a good birthday present, but my parents bought me my first season ticket for my 17th birthday, I think, the first season ticket I had. Look what they did to me. Look what they did to me. I mean, they've been taking me to Blackpool matches for years, but we didn't have season tickets. Mum and Dad used to pick and choose, and we used to go to, to a few games a season. And I used to love going with Mum and Dad, but then they actually bought me a season ticket, and that was it then, wasn't it? I've had a season ticket forever. Yeah, I would say so. Julian Winter really lost a lot of respect from the fans in one interview. My God, did he just do that? I mean, post in the comments, did anybody watch the interview with Julian Winter and think he is the man? You're the man. You are the guy that inspires me. I want to go and get a season ticket to do all the things you're telling me. Or did he just come across as a total and utter twat? Post in the comments below what you thought, honestly. And I would tell him to his face, if you brought me in, I'd tell him you looked at absolute utter twat in that interview. You sounded condescending. I don't like somebody who, says things like, I've already said it before, I'm telling you this because I've got to raise money, right? We've got to be right. He said that a few times. I hate that because that's basically saying, I'm right, aren't I? I'm right. I've got to raise money. I've got to fleece the fans. I've got to fleece the fans because we need help because we're Blackpool Football Club and everything's costing more money and our owner's pumping in 5 million. He needs help. So you guys, you're the third biggest thing and you're where we need to get our money from. So we are going to rinse you, but I guarantee you it's going to be great. And we're going to do 4 incentives this year. We're going to sort it all out. 4 incentives this year. We forgot about them last year. They weren't in the memo. We didn't, I forgot about the fact of incentives last year. Forgot about that. But definitely, we've got it sorted this year. I can't tell you what they are right now, but trust me, they are in the pipeline. They're coming along. I guarantee. He's like some sort of bloody second-hand carpet salesman. When he, Jesus Christ, that's our CEO. That is our CEO. Jesus God help us. God help us. Honestly, God help us. I think you get better value going to the Blackpool Tower than going to the football club. Because you would, yeah. You get Mucky the Clown and entertain. You get entertaining. If you go to the circus, you're going to get entertained. You're going to pay this money. You're not even guaranteed you're going to get entertained. Were we entertained for our money this season? Were we entertained? Was it entertaining? Was it value for money? Was your season? Did you think that your season ticket was value for money last season at that price? And are you confident that it's going to be value for money this season? Better than last season? Do you think we're going up? Or do you think it's going to be worse? God knows what the on-the-day prices are going to be. I don't. They're just season tickets. I don't even know what the walk-on prices are going to be. I think they're talking about 35 quid or something ridiculous. 35 to, well, category 1. Category 1, League 1. I love the fact we have Category 1, League 1 games. Is that not Category 1? Or was that not just like the Premier League, really? Or Championship, maybe even. Championship. Category 1. But I think when you're getting down to League 1, I think you're struggling to call anything Category 1, aren't you, really? It's all dog shit, isn't it, really? Again, he got a season ticket for his 21st. Parents tortured you. Yeah, I get it. I understand, just like me. How do they compare across the division 24-25? Would make for an interesting. Well, you can ask Julian Winter. Or maybe you can't ask Julian Winter because he hasn't got a bloody clue what other teams charge. He doesn't have a clue. He says it openly in the interview. I don't know. Honestly, I can't answer that question. I don't know how we compare to the clubs. I don't know. But we are a town that's the most deprived town in the country. But we're going to fleece you. Lego says, I really hope there's a camel-loving Saudi who needs plenty of sand for his camels, who loves our club. God, yeah. I mean, do you remember when we were looking for owners and there was like these Saudis that came over, didn't they? And they checked out all the airport and everything because the main, the thing in Blackpool is if you make that airport international, you could change this town so much, couldn't you? If it was an international airport. And they were looking at that. And I thought, yeah, we need somebody who not only wants to invest in a football club, but actually, sees Blackpool and the potential of Blackpool. There's so many things I could go on and on about what could be done in Blackpool. I mean, why have we not got a concert arena? I say it all the time. It would be the number one thing. I mean, for me, the number one thing about Blackpool, our number one thing is tourism, isn't it? I know there's other jobs as well and there's other industries, but our number one thing is tourism. It's built on tourism. We haven't built anything new to bring tourists in. Yes, the Winter Gardens have done this conference centre thing now, but even that, it's not that great. Really, it's not that big. I was a bit disappointed with the size of it, to be honest. I DJ'd there a couple of Christmases ago. I actually DJ'd at the Norbreck in Nork Olympia on the weekend, and that's twice as big as the one at the Winter Gardens. It's huge. Why is not conferences there? Why doesn't somebody get hold of get rid of that Britannia Hotel, somebody get hold of the Norbreck and really turn it into something amazing? Some Saudis, that Nork Olympia is enormous. All sorts of things could be going on there. John Gribben says, I've just checked Bolton adult season ticket 359. So they're less than us, aren't they? 359. That's at Bolton. I mean, would you say Bolton? I mean, Bolton's near Manchester, so I suppose a lot of people from Bolton work in Manchester. It's really close to Manchester. Wages in Manchester are a lot more than they are in Blackpool, aren't they? You know, Jane works in Manchester. The money there's, you know, twice as much as we get here in Blackpool. Gurney says the increased walk-on prices enable them to rape the visiting fans. Indeed, it's just... not literally, but says Gurney, not literally, but Birmingham will take thousands and they all have to pay 34 quid. Duncan Wood says that Julian showed he didn't care about fans that have followed this club for years and love their team. There's only one pool and he doesn't give a toss. He doesn't give a toss. He's not even in the job 5 minutes. He didn't really give a toss about last season that we didn't get up, did he, really? He didn't care that we didn't make the playoffs. He didn't care, did he? He thought it was good. He actually said he thought it was a good product last season. And it's going to be good this season, but he didn't inspire me to think it is going to be good. There was nothing that he said that inspired me to think this guy is switched on. I agree with the poster on A View from the Tower that he looked like a guy who had been delivering parcels at the ground and just pulled him in to do an interview. He didn't look like our CEO. I can't believe he is our CEO. He had no charisma, no flair. He didn't turn up looking like he was a businessman, did he? He looked like he thought he was on an audio interview and he just came dressed in his slobs, didn't he, really? Unshaven and just... It was awful. The whole thing was awful. The drinking of the water at the start was so bad, wasn't it? WG fans that Entertainment's trying their best to keep Blackpool relevant with Peter Rabbit and Gruffalo. I mean, they are investing in the Sea Life Centre, and you know they've done work on the tower, and yeah, you know they're doing a good job, aren't they? Yeah, Mackenzie Child, I know. I work at the Winter Gardens. It's a shame to see so many big areas left empty and unused. But here's the thing, and I would imagine that if somebody wanted to come and build a concert arena in Blackpool, the Winter Gardens would be one of those like totally opposed to it but really they ought to be for it because I was talking to somebody the other day when, you know, I know it was the Oceans, but they brought in Rod Stewart for a summer concert. And that's another thing somebody mentioned on A View from the Tower. Rather than fleecing all the fans, why didn't they do a big concert? Right after the season finished, have a big concert and you know, a big star at Bloomfield Road and make a few million, and then they don't have to fleece the fans. They have no idea on how to make money. And you could do it within a couple of weeks of the season ending before the pitch gets renewed. You could have your concert then. I mean, they take it all off. They take all the top off it, so it wouldn't matter. And when Rod Stewart came to Blackpool, the people that you know I was picking up in the taxi, I was driving a taxi then, they were all big fans of Rod Stewart and they were staying over the weekend. So they may well have gone and watched the show at the Winter Gardens as well as Rod Stewart if they're staying for the weekend. But you've got to have the people coming in to Blackpool for reasons other than just the pleasure beach. You know, there's got to be big things that, you know, they had a concert arena that brought in, say, 35,000 people to a concert on a Friday, another 35 on a Saturday, another 35 on a Sunday. That's all people that could be doing other things in Blackpool and going to the Winter Gardens. And then the Winter Gardens might not be so quiet in all these places. But we're all sort of, you know, every business in Blackpool wants to stop things coming in. But really, we should be encouraging it all to come in because the more things come in, the more busy we are and the more busier everything gets. Blame. Well, I mean, the council, just all of them, aren't they? They're just terrible. I've said it loads of times. The Victorians were visionary, weren't they? They built Blackpool and they built the Tower, the piers, the Pleasure Beach, the Winter Gardens, the Grand Theatre, the ABC Theatre, and loads of other things. You know, the Imperial, all the hotels that they built at that time were amazing. The Savoy, all of it, the Metropole, they did all that. And yet the councils, they do things like they want to bring drug addicts in to fill the B&Bs with drug addicts, so they get kickbacks and all this. Bring the trams up Talbot Road. I just despair. Ian says that Bolton have a lot of football clubs close to them, though. Man City, Man United, Everton, Liverpool, all very close. Yeah, of course. Of course they do, but, they have a decent fan base. They have, better than us. And so, I don't know, there's more money there, so they can charge a bit more. But their prices will be so cheap compared to like Man City and United, I would think. I don't know what the prices are there, but it'd be a lot more. Lico says, we need a voice of reason, who ain't just thinking pound signs. Someone who can relate with the fans in the boardroom would be ideal. Wouldn't I just? Well, if I was CEO of the company of Blackpool FC, my first priority would be the football. To sort the bloody football out. To make sure that we're not the highest paying wages in the league. And to make sure that we get value for money, and to make sure that our scouts, the scouting network is brilliant, and our whole recruitment policy is top drawer. Would be my priorities, and my priority wouldn't be to put the prices up on fans. It would be actually to lower the prices and get more in. That's what I would do. I would try my best to provide the best football possible without. And if we are going to be the top paying club wages wise, I would want to be number one in the league. I would want to be top of the league. I would demand, if I'm paying top wages, I would demand being top of the league. I would demand it. And I wouldn't be thinking that I've got to take more money off people. I'd be thinking I've got to do things that make more people come in and spend money. I want a product that makes people come. I want something on that pitch that locks people out. I want people not to be able to get a ticket, queuing up to get in. That's a dream, isn't it? Not, right, well, they're our biggest money earner. See, the ticket prices are what makes most money. So I tell you what, let's just slap everybody with a lot more money in, and let's just charge more for kids. It's ridiculous. It's just ridiculous. Yeah, but you see, that's the thing, isn't it? The Pleasure Beach, they don't even call themselves Blackpool Pleasure Beach, and just Pleasure Beach. But yeah, they are dying because the things that they probably be opposed to a concert arena as well, but that would bring 35,000 people in to watch a big concert over the weekend. They'd be all going to the Pleasure Beach. Everything gets a knock on, doesn't it? Everything gets a knock on. The hotels get a knock on. Even the hotels, while we're building these things, would get a knock on. Even B&Bs, if it took 20 years to completely rebuild Blackpool Seafront, say, for instance, just a whole rebuilding project, and all them B&Bs, while they're building hotels, will be full with builders, brickies, plasterers, electricians, all staying for the week in Blackpool, filling the B&Bs while they're doing a 20-year project to just completely transform Blackpool Seafront. And that's really what we need, isn't it, really? And we need something like a concert arena that would just bring thousands in all year round. And then the Pleasure Beach would get a knock on, and the Winter Gardens would get a knock on. And there are things being done, but how long did it take, man? Do you know what I mean? How's life with me, Michael? It's not good, I'm afraid, Michael. Not good. Not happy at all with these season ticket prices. I'm not happy with listening to Julian Winter. And we're talking about that. We're talking about, have you seen it? Have you watched it? Did it make your steam come out your ears? As he condescendingly told us that when he was told by Andy Bays that Blackpool is one of the poorest towns in the country and we're in a cost of living crisis, his answer straight away was, well, we're also in this crisis and our prices have gone up and our gas has gone up and we need more money. So, unfortunately, we've got to charge you more. We don't really care about you, really. We couldn't give it two shits about you, really. You don't care how little money you've got. We need more money out of you to help us, instead of telling us all the wonderful things he was doing that were going to bring him money, that he could reduce season ticket prices, all the fantastic ideas that had come into his brain. He slept one night and woke up and thought, I tell you what, let's have a summer concert, at the football ground. Let's raise a few million that way. Let's do other things. Let's think of all the things I've come up with for you guys. But he's going to have four incentives this year that he can't tell us what they are, but they're going to be good. Have I applied? No, I haven't. I haven't applied. No, I haven't applied to go. Oh, Pleasure Beach Resort. Like the Disney resort. Oh, God almighty. Yeah, Gary, so much potential in Blackpool Airport. Yeah, all day long. That's why we need somebody, really, don't we? You know, you think of how much. I know we all hate Man City, and you know, for what they're doing financially regular, but what they've done to that area of Manchester. Could you imagine if they'd have done that to Blackpool? As well as buying Blackpool, they'd have invested in the infrastructure of Blackpool in the way they have at Man City. What somebody like that could do to this town. It's all right giving charity things and scholarships and all that, but we needed somebody who could actually just get hold of Blackpool and just you know, we need somebody that owns a country the size of Saudi with all those billions to come in and just say, you know what, this place, I could make a killing here. I could make a killing in this town. There's so much potential. There's so much poverty, so many rundown things. Things can be bought for cheap as chips, and I could build amazing places and amazing things. I wish I was a billionaire. I really do. Alex says there's no reason why we should not be on the port on a par, is it, with the likes of Brighton? We're the most popular resort in Great Britain, but lack investment big time. Yeah, and in spite of the fact that we do lack investment, we are still the most popular resort in the. You know, Blackpool is so fun. Just imagine if it was great. Just imagine if it was bloody amazing. Just imagine if it was unbelievable and there was just unbelievable new things happening all the time. Every year there was like a new attraction, a new thing, and new hotels coming in, and just the whole thing was, you know, it was just like mind-blowingly like Las Vegas, you know, like it should have been. Michael Haig says, Sadler is slowly but surely ruining our club, yet the club's badges progress. Total shambles, more or less, the club has been for the last 2 years. Sadler needs to sell the club. God. Well, he maybe just needs to sell the club to pay back all the people he's having to pay back. Was it in the Financial Times? He's having to give everybody the money back, isn't he? Or he's giving everybody the money back. I don't know what that means. Anyway, I've got 429 in the stream. There's loads of you here. Nobody wants to talk to me. I need to get a drink. I'll tell you what. Let me just go and get a drink because my mouth is dry, and hopefully some of you 400 odd people will have posted something. It's not just me rambling on and on and on. So let me just. I'll be back. And yeah, just give me a moment. I'll be back. Right, and we are back. Right, got myself a drink. I've got one of those. I don't like Iron Brew, but this new one, it's let's see, that way. Yeah, there we are. Wild berry slush Iron Brew. Wild berry slush Iron Brew. Great stuff. Right, comment. Has anybody come? We got 460 people in this stream. My gosh. Nobody's commenting. Gary says, this time next year, we will be millionaires. Well, at least that's what I tell myself every time I buy lotto tickets. You can afford a season ticket then. Yeah, we all need to win the bloody lottery to be able to support Blackpool. W&G fan says, have you tried the Backlot cinema yet? It's been 2 months since it's opening. I haven't yet. I was going to do on my eldest birthday, but he couldn't come over, so I went to Chester, which was amazing, by the way. I went to a theatre there. It was brilliant. Chester was really nice. Everywhere I go, everywhere we went on the football tourist guide, I would think, God, if only this was in Blackpool. If only this was in Blackpool. You know what I mean? There's so many things in so many different towns that's so much better than here. And I just think we just, everything takes so long. The council takes so long. I mean, how long have they been doing this blooming Mill Station thing? I mean, I think it's open soon, doesn't it? But how many years have they been at it? That big black hotel on the front with all the glass. It was built when I was on the comedy carpet having a rant at Oyster. It was there, and it's still not open. What the hell's going on with that? Steve H, with the season's pricing, surely there is a case to bring back the membership scheme that allows a reduced match ticket for those that can't make every game. I use this when I worked away a lot. Yes. Maybe that's one of Julian Winter's 4 incentives that we're going to, he's not telling us about yet, but they're coming and we should be really excited about them. Aliko1 says, my biggest bugbear is the same old scenario of loan players. You lose any structure and teamwork with loans. Yeah, of course. And he's actually openly said that they're going to be using it again because, so I tell you what, I've already said it already, but, you get these players in on loan and they all get a song, don't they? The Dembele song was great, but we can't sing that next year, so that's gone. Charlie Patino song, we didn't have that, so we've got to come up with another new song for whoever's on loan. We have to come up with new songs for the loan players all the time. Once people leave, it's hard to get them back. They lose interest, so they need to do something about the pricing situation. I can't get people on the show because I can invite guests if they send me an email. If you send me an email with your email, I can actually send you a link to come on. You can come on just with audio if you want. If you want to come on, but nobody ever sends me an email to give me their email address to say they want to come on. So I can't do phone calls because people mess about with my phone all the time. Abrams here. Hello, Freddie. Harry Wake is here as well. Good evening. Well, you guys surely must have something today. So I need people to post things in the comments about, have you all watched it? We've got 475 people here. Have you all watched Julian Winter's terrible interview with Andy Bays? Andy Bays was harsh, wasn't he? But I just thought, you're not harsh enough. I'd have gone on. So would you pay £40, Julie? Do you think that's a decent price for a ticket? Well, that's for the best seats, obviously, £40. It's not all £40, of course. 35 then? Would you pay 35? I think I'd have gone down to 20. Would you pay 20 if you had got pots of peeing in the world? You lived in Blackpool. Your minimum bloody wage. £20 is a lot of money. Never mind bloody £35 or whatever it is. We shouldn't be too reliant on loan players. Absolutely, because they just go back. They don't really care. Does it matter? Does it matter to Dembele if Blackpool got up or not this season? Does it really matter to him? There's a couple of clubs courting him, isn't there? So he'll be playing in the Championship next year. You couldn't care less, could you? He's not. It doesn't really affect his career. Let's move on to somewhere else. Freddie says, this club need to openly discuss what's happening with the club. Well, the trouble is we want this open dialogue. We've all been saying we need them. It's been on the View for Tower all the time, isn't it? The club need to talk to us. The club need to engage with us. So what did he do? They put Julian Winter out and he engages with us and we're all going absolutely fucking mental over it because it was so goddamn bad. It was like, it was, oh my God, it was the worst thing one of the worst interviews I've ever seen. I can't believe that guy is our CEO. I can't believe the lack of professionalism. I can't believe the arrogance. I can't believe any of what I watched. And I'm probably like, you'll just be like me. Steam will have been coming out your ears as you're shouting. I'm literally shouting. I'm laughing. I'm actually laughing while I'm listening to it. Maybe not shouting, just laughing, saying, is this guy taking the fucking piss or what? Is he actually taking the piss out of us? Because if he isn't, God knows what the hell he's doing, because he was totally taking the piss out of us, I think the one thing that really, 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 stuck in my craw, if you've just joined, I've said it many times, but, he was asked about, do you think these prices, especially when we're in a cost of living crisis, can you justify these prices? And he didn't actually answer that as saying, he actually said he thought the reason they'll be reasonable because it's going to be good, but he just said, well, we're in a cost of living crisis too as a club, and Simon said, let's put 5 million in, and we need the money because our gas bills have gone up and our electric's gone up and we're having to pay, the minimum wage has gone up, so we're having to pay all that money. So we don't really care whether you're in a financial crisis or not. We just need to get more money out of you. And that was it, really. That was his answer to that, wasn't it? Like, we're just going to fleece you all more money because we need the money. And I thought that was just like, I thought that was so bad. There was nothing there that made you think, oh yeah. No, he didn't sit down and say, yeah, you know what? Season tickets are down here. We dropped them down because we've had these brilliant ideas of how to bring money into the club. We thought up some great ideas. We've been think tanking it, and we've come up with some great ideas. One of the things is, we're not going to play players quite as much money because we've got this amazing recruiting stuff and scouting stuff. So we're going to get great players for you, but a bit cheaper than what we'll be paying, but they'll be better for cheaper. So that's one idea. And, as I already said, we've put, we're staging a big rock concert. Somebody's coming, whatever, big stars coming at Bluefield Road, that's going to raise £1 million and odd pound or something. So rest assured, we are looking after your club for you. We've got more incentives. We've got some really big sponsors coming in, to the club. We've got some, we've gone beyond just thinking about, little Blackpool businesses, but, we've gone like multinational. We've got a multinational coming in that's going to, we're going to call the stadium, unfortunately, you can still call it Bluefield Road, but it's going to be called Abu Dhabi Consortium Stadium, or whatever it is. And we're getting sponsorship for about 50 million quid for the stadium or whatever, but there was nothing, was there? There was nothing inspiring. There was nothing that made you think, wow, this guy, he is the boy, isn't he? Paying for somebody who's thinking out of the box and who's done all this stuff for us. No, he just thinks it was a product last year and it's going to be great this year because he's got 4 incentives. Yeah, we lost Jordan Rose as well. Michael Haig says, I know you'll be watching the show, Simon. Well, please do the right thing. Stop being stubborn and get your counsel in order and get your act together, or otherwise you are slowly but surely killing the club. Well, you would have to think, you would question whether he's deliberately trying to kill the club, isn't he? Trying to kill us all off, doesn't want us there or something, is it? Because everything he's doing is kind of to make us not want to come to watch Blackpool, isn't it? I'm talking to Jane, and she's, thinking of, she likes Chase Town. She go and watch Chase Town, go and watch the non-league club. She loves it. We could all go and watch non-league, couldn't we? Go and support Squires Gate and AFC Blackpool. They'd love it, wouldn't they? And you would probably have an immediate effect. Just 1,000 Blackpool fans turning up at AFC Blackpool and Squires Gate every week, an extra 1,000 people, and what they could do, how they get up. It'd be more fun, wouldn't it, than this? And they'd love you. They would love you to go. They would welcome you at Squires Gate and AFC Blackpool with open arms. They would. And I tell you what, it's great. I've already said you can go, you can buy a beer, you can drink it while you're watching the football, you can take your dog, and people actually are happy. you to go. They want you to come. Maybe that's the future. Maybe we'll all go and watch Squires Gate and just choose whichever. Squires Gate, AFC, Blackpool, whichever one you want down there. Give him your love. Tell them Lee Charles sent you. And I tell you what, maybe we could vlog from there, where we would actually enjoy us vlogging about the club. Maybe we'll talk to some of their former players and do all that there instead of what I'm doing with it. Why come up with great ideas to do for this club that just don't care about us, really, do they? Anyway, said, yes, I do. How do they get these jobs? His eyes told, oh, yeah, I mean, it was, wasn't it? It was. The whole thing was terrifying, wasn't it, from beginning to end? The way he talked, his old demeanour, the way he hadn't put any effort into even looking like he was professional, did he? He didn't look professional. What did he come in like? Some sort of T-shirt with unshaved and just... I said before, he looked like he thought he was just coming for an audio interview and he wasn't going to be on videoed. Because he just looked all good, didn't he, really? You know. If you've just joined the stream, I am repeating myself, but people are just joining. So we've now got 523 in the stream. So yeah. So somebody said on View from the Tower, he looked like a guy that had just been delivering a parcel, to Bluefield Road. They dragged him in because he didn't know any answers to anything, really. He didn't have answers. And he did look like a guy that had just been delivering parcels. He didn't look like a CEO at all. He didn't sound like a CEO. He had no charm or charisma, did he? I mean, why would you employ him as CEO? No, why would you? If I was Simon Sadler and he came for an interview, it'd have been just one look at him. I know you shouldn't judge people by the way they looked, but God, he was awful. Alico1 says that surely filling the stadium will create an atmosphere that would bring results. And with promotion comes more money. It's a win-win scenario instead of a policy of rinsing fans in hard times. Well, that's what you'd think, wouldn't you? That would be like logical. You know, in the words of Spock, that would be logical, Captain. Wouldn't it be logical? It's not logical what they're doing. It really isn't. Doesn't make any sense, does it? Gary says, yes, win games and fans will turn up, invest in the team, and the rest will fall into place. It's as simple as that. Yes, it is. If you're not to, a tenner off the season ticket prices and said, I tell you what, sorry we let you all down last season. We're going to do our best this season. We're going to get more. We're going to do our best to get more bums on seats and create a great atmosphere. We're going to do everything that's going to make you want to be behind us and cheering the team on. So we're going to look after you. I'm going to treat you like we love you. And we're going to do things that, make you love us even more, But no, they haven't. They've done the complete and utter opposite and absolutely just pissed everybody off. I mean, Andy Bays was started off. He said, you've announced these and it's all been, greeted like a lead balloon on fans forums, on Twitter accounts and everything else. And fans are in uproar about it. And he basically said, well, whenever a club announces price hikes, there's going to be a backlash. It's a thing in football. There's going to be a backlash. So why do it then? There's going to be a backlash. You knew it was coming. So why do it? Why would, I'll tell you what, let's have a meeting. Right, lads. Right, you're all assembled. Simon Sadler's there. Hello, Julian Winter and everybody else and Critch. We're all here, right? We're all discussing what we're going to do to get fans back in, get the atmosphere right, get fans cheering the club on. What do we need to do? What do you think? Should we knock a bit off the season tickets, make it a bit cheaper for people to come so we get a few more people in? Signings, do we need to make like stellar some signings that are really good? Should we go with down the loan route again, or is that really not working? It didn't work in the Championship. We got relegated. It didn't work last season because we didn't get into the playoffs. What are your ideas on how we can raise money, how we can reduce season ticket prices, how we can get these fans back on board with us? What should we do? Over to you, Julian. Well, I think, Simon, we should put prices up. It doesn't. There'll be a backlash. They'll hate us, and we won't sell as many season tickets, but we will risk them for more money. And we'll just promise them. We'll promise them for 4 things that we didn't do last year, but we'll promise them that. And I've been having a look, and we don't have that many kids anyway, do we? So it doesn't matter. We can put those prices up because none come to the ground. We haven't got any future fans. Just like, I don't know. Is that how it went? Is that how it went? Email sent. I'm going to have to do it because I haven't got headphones or anything to do it with tonight because I'm not expecting any calls in, but maybe next time I've got your email. I can send you an invite link for the next time we do a phone in. Anybody else, by the way, while we're on now, if you send me an email to lee@leecharles.tv and just say that you would like to be able to come on as a guest. You don't have to come with a video, just come on as audio. You can't phone in, but you can be on the phone in. Send me that and I will send you a link through. We can test it out. You can have a trial run with it, see how it goes, and you can you can come in and call in and be on the show. So if any of you want to do that, Michael sent his email in. Anybody else want to send your email in? I don't want obviously the same people week in, week out, week out. I want a lot of different people phoning in, but we will do more of these phone-ins on. It might not be always after the match like I could before because I'm having to work and stuff on that, but we can have on different nights, but whenever you want. Duncan Wood says lower prices mean more fans, more shirt kit sales, more pies and pint sales, more income, surely. So get it right. Why have they not got it right? Why are they doing this? Kieran Baines is here. Hello, Kieran. Congratulations. Ipswich promoted into the Premier League. Yes, I can't take you in at the moment, Michael, because I need to set everything up for it. I've got nothing set up with headphones and stuff. I need different things, but we can trial it and try it out. Freddie Abrams says, Sadler states that he is a Blackpool fan. Then surely as a fan, you want the best for your team. If he can't, then he needs to look to sell. We had a load of shit with the Oysons and now this. It does feel really bad, doesn't it? Harry Wake said he was dressed like a scrapyard dog, like the owner does. Yeah, he did look like a parcel delivery man. He didn't look like a CAO, did he? You wouldn't have thought. If there was a TV show and it said, you have to guess my job, say for instance, the quiz was guess my job, and they had 4 people, a guy, was an ex-criminal and somebody else, and you kind of guess what they did, and they had to answer questions. You kind of try and figure out what they did, and he came on. Would you guess CEO of a football club on 6-figure salary? Would you have guessed that? Looking at it in there, looking at him on that, would you think that's what he did? No, he looks like the caretaker or something, didn't he? Great, Kieran. Thank you very much. Michael Haig says, I can feel a boycott coming in. It feels like Simon is Carl with a wig on, yet worse than Colloyson. Hope you are watching Simon. It does. It feels very much like, I don't particularly think there's going to be a boycott, but I think a lot of people can't afford these prices and they're just not going to buy. It's not even a case of boycott. It's just a case you won't be able to afford a ticket, will you? You won't be able to afford one. Family of 4, especially if they have to pay. What did we say? I went through these prices. If you've just joined, here are the wonderful prices that Julian Winter set for us to basically pants down and spank us. So if you're an early bird renewal in the South Stand, it's going to be £375 for an adult, £325 for a senior citizen, £325 for somebody 18 to 21. Under 18s are £149 now. Under 14s are £99. Under 5s are £49. If you're in the West Inner, Now paying £455. That's not even for like the West Inner, 455 for an adult, 375 for a senior, 375 for an 18 to 21. These are people who are just renewing, who's already under 18s are 329, under 14s 249, and under 5s are a very cheap £159. However, if you go for the West Centre, the best seats in the house, according to Julian Winter, you're not going to pay £525 to sit in the West Centre. So does that include the 59 club? I don't know. Somebody will have to tell me if it does. Senior citizens are also £525, so they don't get any discount for being an old age pensioner. 18 to 21s also pay £525 to sit there. Good job, not many of them will be wanting to sit in there. They'll all want to be on the north side. Get that. Under 18s, £429. Under 14s, £429. If you're 13, you're £429. Yeah, the three C's, collecting children's cash. And under 5s are also mysteriously £429 in the West. Hopefully they'll be anyway. To encourage new season tickets, to encourage people who are thinking for the first time, and I've said this before earlier on, if any company is doing a discount for sort of, they've got a discount on it, it's never available to existing, is it? It's always available for new people only. Existing, this doesn't apply if you're already, if you're already with Virgin Media, this discount doesn't apply to you. It's only for new Virgin Media customers. This is only, for BT customers, this is for new. Or if you're going on EE or Orange or whatever, if you're a new customer, we're giving you this. Existing customers, unfortunately, you've just got to carry on paying. But for Blackpool, to encourage new people to buy into it, we charge more. So in the South Stand and the North West Outer, which I suppose will include the corners as well, it's £395 for your first ticket to encourage you to buy one. Senior citizens are £345, 18 to 21s £345, under 18s £159, under 14s £109, and those lucky under 5s £59. The West Inner is just 1 second. I'll be back in 1 second. Just give me 1 second because Jane's come in, and just give me 1 second. Okay, back sorted. Right, moving on with these new, and these are early bird prices, by the way, for new people. So to get them, West Inner £475 for adult, £395 for those lucky senior citizens. 18 to 21s who are probably thinking about girls and everything else other than football, they're £395. Under 18s £339 if you're under 18. But you ain't got a job yet. You're still at college. £339. Jesus. Under 14s, the wealthy under 14s, they're paying £250. So that's mum and dad, isn't it? Obviously, you're under 14. Mum and dad's going to be paying that. So mum and dad to sit with you. So let's work this out. So a new family, mum, dad, and let's just say one. Let's just go with one child. So they want to sit in the South Stand. So they're going to pay £300. So these are new and on the early bird. So £395 times 2, that's £790. So £790. And they've got the two kids who are both under 14. Obviously not got jobs yet. So they're another £220, £218 for them. So wow, you're talking a lot of money, aren't you, for a family for a brand new family of 4 thinking of coming. However, if they want to sit in the West Centre, it's £545 for an adult, £545 for any old age pensioner that suddenly decided he wants to sit, bring his blanket and his flask and sit in the middle. £545 for 18 to 21s, £449 for under 18s, £449, and £449 for under 5. He won't remember a single thing about ever coming to watch Blackpool. If he's under 5, he'll never remember any of it. So it's pretty pointless spending that kind of money on him, isn't it? So, and the full price is, if you don't take the early bird, it's 425 in the South Stand, 375 for senior. It's just, honestly, good Lord, what do you all think? What do you all think? They do need to drop the prices in League One. Eugene, you're absolutely right. Aliko says, have we a transfer fund of sorts, or is that just a dream? I don't know, because we make these offers, don't we? We make these offers that nobody, if we ever put a big bid in for anybody, like a big bid, what we say is a big bid, it's never enough, is it? It's never just quite enough to get it over the line. So I don't know what I don't know what transfer fund is. I don't know. Jimmy gives us some of the Black fans need to be on the board. There's no chance of that. I wouldn't know. I can't bring you into the show, Michael, because I haven't got the headphones to hear you, and I can't have you coming in over the sound because it will just double back on itself. So I have to set up ready to take calls, and that means me having headphones on, all the rest of it. So I just can't do it though. Rosie says, hello, Rosie. She says, nice stream, Lee. Smash the likes, people, and sub. Been nipping in and out. Nice work. Thank you very much, Rosie. Thanks for nipping in and out. We do appreciate that. And thanks for, and you're in Hong Kong. Oh, well, you're the, no, that's Aliko that's in Hong Kong. Apparently there is a massage parlour that's owed fortunes for services rendered in Hong Kong. There might well be. Neil Simpson says, I don't see Saddle lasting. No, neither do I. Well, will he last to the he's giving all his money back, apparently. According to the Financial Times, he's refunding all his investors. So will he does that mean he won't have any fund anymore? Because it's billions. I don't know. Gary says, I wonder, does increasing the ticket price by stupid levels increase the potential they can plausibly flog the club for to potential interested parties? It's a potential sale in the pipeline. Is one. An interesting question. Is this to sell it? Is this to say, look at, but the trouble is it's flawed already, isn't it? Because not as many people are going to buy season tickets. There's no way. There is no way on this heaven and earth that the season ticket sales are going to be equal to what they were last season. Post in the comments how many thousands do you think we're going to lose off season ticket sales with this fantastic incentive that Julian Winter has told us about? How many do you think we're going to lose? 2,000, 3,000 season tickets? It's all right. It's all right putting them up at that price. Well, it's no good if nobody buys it, is it? It's all right putting prices up. It's like if you owned, the MEN Arena, and Beyonce's coming, say, for instance, and you can sell it out 3 times over. You can put the prices up. Price is normally driven by demand. Price comes from demand. So if it's somebody, who's not quite as popular as Beyonce or Taylor Swift, say, for instance, who could probably sell out 3-4 times over, and you can charge 200, you can probably charge £1,000 to go and watch Taylor Swift, and people will spend that money. Some people in the world will have that money to spend, just like boxing or anything else. But you can't charge for something that's shit, as it has been for the last 2 years. I don't care what Julian Winter said about it was good last season. Julian, I can assure you, it wasn't good. It was occasionally good. And sometimes we looked like an amazing team, and then we'd come out for the second half, or we changed something in the 70th minute, and then we'd look like a goddamn terrible club that was hanging on by its bootstraps. But for most of the games, there were some games where we won quite convincingly, and people actually came out and said they were bored. They were bored. And this is the problem. If people are bored and they're spending lots of money, then you get that atmosphere that we had last season, which on many occasions was pretty poor, but probably some of the worst atmospheres I've ever heard. Tuesday nights where it was dead, completely dead. There was hardly any cheering. The sound weren't very loud. Nothing was loud because everybody was so just bored by the football they were watching. And if the product's no good, you can't charge more for it, no matter what you promise us. Because looking back retrospectively over the last few years, we don't believe you, Julian. We don't believe that you're going, this is going to be good. We don't believe that you're going to have 4 incentives that are going to blow our mind. We don't believe any of the bullshit. We used to call bullshit Ben. Jibber Jabber Julian or something, isn't it? I won't employ anybody who's called Julian, full stop, to be honest. Right. Harry Wayne, if you get a few spare tickets for the 17th of June meeting, can Michael and I have one, because we won't get an invite? Only the Arsenal, no, I won't. I wouldn't go to meeting if you paid me to go, to be honest. What a load of rubbish. WG fan records we're going to lose 3,000 season tickets. 3,000. I hope they've calculated this into this. I don't think that whatever they've upped it is going to cover. Well, unless they just get the only way they're going to cover these 3,000 is if they get the West Stand centre full with under fives. That should maybe cover the 3,000 they're losing. 4,000, says Freddie Avery. 4,000. Gary says minimum 3,000. Some of them will buy individual match tickets subject to if the team is performing. I mean, Jane has said she's been enjoying going to watch Chase, and she's probably going to go and watch Chase a lot more next season because she's loved there. They love her there. We're hated here. Yeah, I was in. Oh God, Lico. So the promises are more of what we heard before. As for Winter, I'm already discontented. Yes, of course. And Saddle better do something or get on his horse. Saddle or no Saddle, indeed. Michael Egg says we will be very competitive season with a team full of loan players and free transfers. No, I think that's sarcasm there. Dor on Tour is here. Hello, Dor. How you doing, sir? Hope I'm well. Oh, great. We're wonderful. We're all rejoicing here over the season ticket prices at Bloomfield Road. And we're all so thrilled to hear from our inspirational, charismatic, enigmatic, a man you would follow to the ends of the world, Julian Winter, who came across as all those things in his meeting with Andy Bays, a proper journalist who dug in a little bit. He didn't dig in quite so hard. He stopped at £35 and never got an answer. Never got a straight answer from him about did he think that was a reasonable price to pay to go and watch Blackpool. He never actually got the answer. Michael Haig says he's also 3,000 down. WG fan says, I'm going to say that the highest points of sales will be against Wigan, Bolton, Stockport. Would you say they were Category A? Stockport, Wrexham, Huddersfield and Birmingham. I wouldn't class Birmingham as a as a Category 1, really, Birmingham. They make it Category 1 because they know they'll sell. They can charge the most for the Birmingham fans. They get more. I don't really like Birmingham as a team. I'm not that excited about playing Stockport. If I wasn't buying a season ticket, I probably wouldn't be bothered going. Wigan, does Wigan excite you as a category? I mean, is anything really a Category 1 in League One? Can you have a Category 1 in League One? By definition, it's not Category 1, is it? It's third tier. It's by definition you can't have. It's all horse trading, horse shit. why the hell haven't we signed Jordan Rhodes yet? Well, does he want to sign? Is he fit enough? Can he do another season? Is he still struggling with injury? I don't know. You know, will he pass the medical test? I don't know. Or I'll have him on the coaching side for sure. Paul Crisp says, good evening, Paul. He says, evening, Lee, how about the ex-Hull City manager take over the Tangerines? Yeah, well, we tried to get him. Rossignol, you're talking about Rossignol, but he came here for an interview, didn't he? He's supposed to come in, but I think I don't know. We didn't say what he wanted to hear. Apparently, I don't know. G fan says it's all from a case of interest, not from prices. Yeah, you've got. Gary says he can't wait to find out how much FA Cup tickets will be. Remember those times where you got your season ticket and you got a free cup game? Do you remember that? They used to throw in a free cup game with your season ticket as an incentive. We don't. There wasn't. I know if you just joined the stream now and you've watched the Julian Winter interview, he did nothing in that interview to encourage you to buy a season ticket than they need help because they're having to pay. The minimum wage has gone up, the gas bill's gone up, the electric bill's gone up at the football ground. It's all going up, and they can't afford. Simon Sadler already chips in 5 million, so now he's got to chip in 5 million and an extra £1 an hour for all those on all the poor people that work for the club on minimum wage. But I wonder how much Julian Winter's on. He'd be the first wage I'd save. He'd be the first wage. He'd be the first wage to go. I'd bin him. After that interview, I would bin him. He would be gone. That's it. I'd sack him off. I say, why the hell am I paying you? I mean, I wonder how much do you reckon he's on, Julian Winter? Yeah, just 100,000 a year, would you say? More? Would he be on more than 100,000 a year? $2,000 a week? More than that, would you say? And you're paying him, if you are paying him 100 grand a year, I mean, CEO of a football club, he's got to be on pretty good wages. I mean, I don't know how much Critch is on, I don't know how much the players are on. We've got big, but he'll be on good money, and he puts in that performance. If I was Simon Sadler, I'd be looking at that interview and saying, "Are you for real, pal? Are you actually for real?" Yes, he would have been a class appointment. Yeah, but no, Neil Critchley was a man for Simon Sadler. The man, the only man he could see, the only name that kept coming back to him. Neil Critchley is the man. He will do the business. Didn't do the business, did he? He ruined Boxing Day. Lico, I don't know who talks more bullshit, the MPs in Parliament or our board are obviously quite happy with the hike and rising of our fans with no commitment for progress. It's a shame, so sad. Well, they are committed to progress. He's told us in no uncertain terms, this is going to be, yeah, £11.50 an hour. So they're paying people, it's apparently an extra £1 an hour, I think, is it? The minimum wage has gone up, so that would be really hurting Simon Sadler. I doubt. Unless you mean Julian Winter's on £11. Well, I wouldn't pay me £11.50 an hour after that interview. It looked like the cleaner, didn't he? To be honest, like he'd been cleaning the toilets before he came on air, before he came on the interview. Yeah, I know, Harry. All he kept saying was the product is good. Julian, it was shite. What are you watching? I've already said all that. It was terrible. It was an awful product. If he thinks that was good, if he's telling us that's good, then that's his justification to up the ticket price, isn't it? If he thinks that's good, it was garbage. It was utter garbage. And for all those fans that I went to Burton Albion, it was terrible. I went to Bolton, it was awful. I went to, where else did it? Wigan, it was shocking. It was shocking. Huddersfield Town Fantasy said Critchley is a yes man. Yeah, he's just Critchley Mark 1 was great. I think he was great, probably because there was no fans in the ground, so it was a bit like managing the under-23s. We know people in the ground. Maybe he excelled when he had like no fans in. When he's actually got fans in, he can't maybe cope with it. Well, he did all right in the Championship, didn't he? W&G says, Alico, when you listen to MPs in Parliament, you're guaranteed nonsense other than our board, where we're expecting a shred of care for our club. They didn't seem to have any. This is really good, by the way. This wild berry slush flavour iron brew. I recommend it. Keep me going on iron brew. We've now got 642 people in the stream. Why, if you're in the stream, why are you not talking to me? We're getting people from Facebook, getting people from YouTube. Are we getting people? We're streaming to Twitch. Obviously, we're streaming to Twitter. Can Twitter people, if you're on Twitter, can you post? I want to know that people can be seen if they are on Twitter. There's no Twitter comments. So if you're watching on Twitter, post and just say hello. Just hello will do. So I know that Twitter feed is working, because a lot of you may just be watching on Twitter. If you haven't yet subscribed to the channel, please do. It helps. You can super chat. You can watch my other video as well. We're trying to raise money to have to buy a season ticket, to buy an extra season. I must be mad. What am I doing? There'll be a new one as well, won't it? Oh my God. Oh Jesus. So it's going to be, how much is my season ticket for the bloody former player to come in and sit with me going to be? Why have I come up with this daft idea before I saw this? So yeah, so 395, so 400 quid. I haven't even got there yet. So I know a lot of people have posted on that video saying, "Oh, I'm really looking forward to it, Lee. This will be fantastic." Well, it ain't going to happen unless you all chip in. I need you to chip in. It just won't happen. So it's no use posting to me and saying, I think this is a brilliant idea, Lee. I can't wait to see this, because you ain't going to see it if you don't chip in. It won't be happening. That is for sure. It won't be happening. I might be like sad, or I might be refunding everybody. Yeah, Michael A reckons 100 a year for sure. Yeah, so 100,000 a year. So you could probably just sack him. You could save yourself a fortune, couldn't you? Because he's obviously pretty bloody useless, isn't he? If that's the best idea that you can come up with, rinse the fans for more money and charge under fives £429, £429 to sit in M Centre if you're under five. Like they've got £429 in the piggy banks. Critch's Fist says, hello, Critch's Fist. And you are on Twitter. Yes, it works. So you can post on Twitter. So why are these people not posting on Twitter? Where are you all? Come on X. Get on X. Harry Wax says he will be on 100,000 plus. How about having a drop in his wages to pay for to give up his wages a bit to help pay the Lecky bill, since the club are in so much trouble? Maybe that's what you should have said at the meeting. I'll tell you what, leave fans alone. I'll take 10 grand off me, and that'll cover the electric for the year. I have more faith in what? You have more faith than me. We are constantly promoted what's coming. Quarter one. Where's the new training ground? I don't have any faith in any of it. What are you talking about? I have no faith in it. Oh, we are constantly promised what's coming. I don't have any faith in it. I've already said I don't have any faith in it. I said that's why I had to go in to see the club, because I said the training ground wasn't happening. It wasn't happening, was it? I said the training ground's not happening. It might be happening sometime in the future, but it ain't happening now, is it? When will we stop being a selling club? Well, we're never going to stop being a selling club. I mean, the trouble is we're not getting players to sell, are we? We started off all right. We got, when you think about it, we got Bowler in and he went for good money, didn't he? We got Jerry Yates in, but we're just letting him go now, aren't we? We just, they're going. Kenny Dougal just went for nothing, minimal fee. Who else? Marvin Epiteta, I think he could have, been a great centre half. I still think he's a great centre half, but he just walked away on a free, hasn't he? We let blooming Owen Dale go. He's ended up getting promoted into the Championship, hasn't he? We don't seem to be getting these players in now that we can sell. And if we only get loans in, we're not going to be able to sell them, are we? We can't sell these players on. Yes, it's all right. It's okay. Yes, I'm with you. I have little faith in anything at the moment. DJ Campbell. What is that an answer to, DJ Campbell? DJ Campbell we bought for 1.7 million, but we had a sell on thing that if we got 1.7 million for him, so he didn't actually cost us anything, did he? We got 1.7 million back. The audience got that back. But I don't know. I think I've said it all. I'm just going round and round and round and round. Unless you've got anything to add to it, I don't want to keep you here forever and day. What time are we now? We've been at this for how long have we been at this? 3 hours rambling on about Julian Winter, but enough to make you ramble on. I remember where I did my video on the piano when Austin called when Carl called our boycott busted flush, and I was so angry. I was so angry that day. I did that video, about on the piano with Carl, and I felt very similar watching Julian Winter to how I felt with Carl Oyston taking the piss out of us then. And I think Julian Winter was just taking the piss. It felt like he was taking the piss. Everything he was saying was taking the piss. It's just like, his answer to everything, Andy Bays, just his answers were just so terrible when it's the questions. Yeah, they didn't answer, or the reason for why, his reason for why he was putting the season ticket prices up was just because the club are on hard times, man. On hard times. We have to put the prices up because we need to get more money to help Simon Sadler and to help us pay the electric and the gas and to pay these poor people on minimum wage. They're rinsing us for £1 an hour more. That was it, wasn't it? That was it. That was his conversation. That was it. Taking the piss, man. Doing Gisa. Has anybody forgot that today's Friday? No. Aliko says, good night, Aliko. Thanks for joining in. Winter needs a deep freeze later. Indeed. Freddie Abraham says, surely if the club are going to charge more for them season tickets, then in return, we as fans should expect to see the club bring in better players to get us promoted. Well, indeed. And if they don't bring, if we all foolishly enough fell for the snake oil speech that things are coming, I do promise you that there are things in the pipeline. We've got some great ideas coming along. I've got, things are spinning in my head, guys. I can, I promise you it's going to be great. The football's going to be great. The product's going to be great. The recruitment's going to be great. Don't you worry about it. You just get your season ticket and we are good to go. If we all believe that, if we all believe that, then fucking God help us, really. God help us. I have no faith at all in that guy. I have no faith in him. I didn't have much faith in Bullshit Ben, but I actually love Bullshit Ben compared to this guy. Bullshit Ben was fantastic compared to this. Is the worst CEO I've ever seen in my life. I have never seen anything worse than this guy. I don't know. I've never seen anything worse than this guy. Freddie Abrams says, surely if the club are going to charge more. Oh, yes, we've done that. Yes, that should be. Yeah, we should be. Harry Wake says, excuse the language, people, but listening to Winter's questions were enough to make a dog turn round. And Would a dog do that? I don't really get that, to be honest. It's very straight. It was just bad. Doing G Fan says, do you think that Fleetwood might get promoted back to League One next season? I don't really, to be honest. I don't. I don't really think they will. It all depends on the money situation, doesn't it? I don't know what the money situation is like at Fleetwood. Are they allowed to bring in players? Have they got the money with Andy Pillion? I don't know. I don't really care, to be honest. But I listening to Julian Winter, I don't think we've got a prayer in hell of getting out of this league this year. Lico is looking forward to the winter of discontent. Yeah. Michael Haig says, yes, we need to get shut and go back to the old days and have a chief scout system like back in the day, like good old Jack Chapman. Yeah, I mean, that's, you think, before Bellicon came, we had Tony Parks. He had some really good connections, didn't he? That's where Charlie Adam came from. I think David Vaughan as well was Tony Parks, but he was amazing. And we need something like that, don't we? We need Simon Sadler needed to make the right decision with the CEO, didn't he? He needed to bring somebody in who was a real good football man, who really knew his stuff, who people could get behind, who had great connections, who could, bring great players in, who had great connections with scouting systems and all the rest. And did you get that feeling from watching Julian Winters that he is the man to take this club forward? After watching that, would you think that? Because I not at all. He didn't inspire me to believe in anything he said, really. I didn't like the way he was talking to us either. I didn't like it. Freddie Abrams says, the last thing I have to say is there are sorts of managers and CEOs, then you can see why Siganti is in deep shit. Yeah, if these are the sort of managers and CEOs, then you can see why Siganti is in deep shit. You can indeed. You can indeed. It's not very inspiring, is it? Yeah. Yeah, Ollie to scout for us. Yeah, I mean, if only Ollie hadn't upset everybody with his comments on the Oystons, I would have him back tomorrow, to be honest. I loved Ian Holloway. I just, I'm like everybody else. I'm just upset with the fact he's defended Carl Oyston in the way he has. When, he left us, as rumoured with a fallout over Carl Oyston over bringing DJ Campbell back, didn't he? And I think that was one of the reasons. It's what I heard along the grapevine. I don't know whether it's true, but I believe that's, why he went, left us to go to QPR when we were like top of the league, playing really well. We'd had a little dip in format where we just lost a couple of games, or we'd lost one game or something, and he went, and we were cruising. I mean, I remember when we beat Middlesbrough, was it 6-0? And they were saying whoever finishes, second behind Blackpool are going to get promotion because Blackpool are going to walk the league. And then he left him. And it's a shame. Right. I think I have said it all. I can't say any more. I can't say any more. The whole thing. I've said all I can about it. It's just, I'm probably the same as all you. I'm not inspired to get a season ticket. I'm thinking, am I doing the right thing, buying an extra season ticket and putting more money into the club where they're just treating us so bad again, aren't they? They're treating us bad again. I mean, they're not suing fans, which is one good thing, but they are rinsing us. They are rinsing us, and there's no justification at all for what we watched last season. You're looking at how we played last season and how we were entertained last season and what value money-wise we got for our season tickets last season, and it wasn't value for money. And for all the people that travelled away to all them games, I feel so sorry for them. We lost so many games, and we had a manager that want to change or look at a different way of playing to try and sort out the away form, and we eventually didn't get in the playoffs and we didn't get promoted back to Championship. And for all that, the reward for us going through all that hell of last season that Julian Winter thinks was good, but for me, in my opinion, it was hell and it was a missed opportunity and we blew it, to then stuff us up paying even more based on that. I don't think it justifies a price increase, because you're keeping the same manager who's proved time and time again that he's going to play this shit system away from home that doesn't work against teams that actually want to be up and at us. We can't cope with it. The recruitment of players last year was poor, really, wasn't it? The loans were quite good, but, the recruitment of players was poor. And I just don't have a lot of faith that it's going to be a great season. And I'm not convinced that I should buy a season ticket, even though I've kind of committed myself to it, but I'm kind of wishing I hadn't. Gary says, CEO. The guy looks like he runs a pub team and looks way out of his depth. He did. And he was condescending. We have to, it's difficult for us, right? It's difficult for all that. I said it before, him saying right after everything, just like, I am right. We are struggling just as much as the people of Blackpool. We're also in a cost of living crisis. We are. Not you, Julian. You won't be in any cost of living crisis. Like Andy Bases, we're fortunate. We get paid to watch football. We don't pay to watch football, and you justify 40 quid. Well, it's only £40 for the best seats. The best seats now, only £40. Well, what about 35 quid? Well, it all depends on the quality of the football, doesn't it, really, at the end of the day? Yeah, well, what are you doing to prove to me that there's going to be quality of football? I just don't think there is. I would have gone lower. What about 30 quid? 30 quid, do you think that's expensive? Because I think £30 is expensive. It is, especially if there's like four, family of four. Right. There we go, folks. Thanks a lot for watching. Thanks a lot for subscribing. We've only had 10 likes, I think, so far. 687 people in the stream. Nobody's talking to me. Nobody's talking on X. You're all watching on X. Why are you not joining in? Lico one says, things can only get better, pal. We are the club. The supporters are the heart, and they are breaking our hearts at the moment, aren't they? In every way they possibly can. They're breaking our hearts. Thank you very much for watching. Simon Sadler, if you've watched all this, then I hope you've listened to some of it. I hope you have listened to some of it, and you do something to inspire us all to buy season tickets, because if you don't do something between now and what's the cutoff date? June the 20th. What's the cutoff date? You've got 1 month, Simon Sadler, to do something that makes people spend this money. Because I tell you, if you don't do something that excites us, people are not going to buy season tickets at those prices. A lot of people are not going to buy season tickets if you don't inspire us, because that interview with Julian Winter has uninspired us all completely. Duncan Wood says, you're pulsing, keep me on. The roof is starting to rust badly at Bloomfield. Needs a lick of paint. Well, that's not Sadler's fault, is it? You can't blame him for that. That's the oysters getting cheap steel. It's always going to be a problem. No training ground? Of course, not yet. It's promised. It's in the pipeline, just like we've heard for the last 30 odd years. No new stand. It's in the pipeline. It's going to happen sometime. Maybe, but we don't know now, because Simon Sadler's got these problems with Saganti, so we don't exactly know how that's going to pan out. We don't know, do we? No new signings. I reckon Sadler will do a runner. Well, I'm starting to think it would be a good thing. Critch's says, we are a club literally built on sand. Every year the team is washed away when loans go back and players' 2-year contracts expire. Seen it for too many years. no long-term planning. Well, we have had arguments about players being put on too longer contracts, and that brings complacency in. So I'm all right with 2+1s. I don't mind that. I just don't like relying on loans. I don't think loans are the future, and I think we've relied on, for the last 2 seasons, loans in key positions. Charlie Patino in midfield in the Championship. No matter how good he was, he was too much a young boy in the Championship. It cost us. And Dembele, for all he did, he didn't do it for us, did he? He didn't get us up, did he? He was good at times. He was too easily pushed off the ball for me. And at the end of the day, he's off somewhere else. Like they all are. We haven't even got that song to sing anymore. Frank Abrams said, I'm looking forward to the new season. Said no, Blackpool FC. Well, I'm looking forward to the new season. Not. Michael A said, should Sadler not discount and restructure the club? The fans should vote with their feet. Point blank refuse to buy a season ticket at any cost. And I said at the start of the stream, if we did that, I would be more than happy with that. I think we need to show them, really. We need to show them, don't we? This is just, we're not happy. We're not happy with it. We can talk on forums. We can talk on here. We can moan and complain. And the only thing they're going to listen to is lack of fans. Like if you know, you turn up at a Bloomfield Road for the opening game of the season, there's 5,000 people there. It'll send them a big message, won't it? It'll send them a bigger message than any fans forum, any blooming message board, anything. If there's 5,000 people turn up at the first game of the season, then Julian Winter, you're sacked in the morning, pal. That's what I'd be saying, because you have totally. But if there's 10,000 people there, then Julian Winters is a genius, and he's put all the prices up and helped Simon Sadler save a boy too, which he might well need. Right, that's it. I'm going. Thank you very much for joining in. Thank you very much for subscribing to the channel if you haven't already. Thank you very much if you've chipped in towards my funds, my £800. If you haven't watched that, there is a video on it. I would like to bring former players in to sit with me at games, and we can find out about their lives, and my channel will be less and less about the bloody match and now Blackpool have gone on, and it'll be more about entertaining you guys with some entertaining stuff. But if you want it, a lot of people said, yeah, we're excited about it, but not many have chipped in, and unless you do, it ain't gonna happen. G fans, see you next time. And Duncan Wood says, well done, Lee. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, everyone. I have talked for 3.5 hours. I've said it all. No doubt there'll be more. Well, with this guy coming, there will be more shit shows to do videos about, won't there? Because this guy seemed to me the most clueless CEO in football I have ever seen in my life. And if he is a CEO of a football club, of our football club, God help us all. Thank you very much. Thank you very much for watching. See you all in the next one.